everyone. Good evening, film geeks, enthusiasts, and creators. Direct to the point, the art of visual storytelling is back, and we are giving another shot of first-hand knowledge from our beloved directors from across the nation. I'm again your film companion slash host, Ron Rayton. And before we start, we are giving away prizes for you guys who are watching right now. So stay tuned, okay? Now, we would like to give our sincere gratitude for our following partners. We have Bolsu Sinfilia, Gulaman Entertainment, and Eugenio Lopez Jr. Center for Media Arts Senior High School. This event was also brought to you by Focus Bat State Camera Club, Silip Atlante Adu, UP Cinema, UP Cinema Art Society, UP Cast, and Loyola Film Club. Cheers also to our following media partners: Edge TV Philippines, Cinema 76 Cafe, Activista, and Pelikulang. Don't forget to use our official hashtag for tonight, hashtag DTTP2. And again, do stick around until the end as we have amazing surprises in store for our viewers at the end of this roundtable. Have you ever thought how the world would be like without good visual stories? Well, because of remarkable filmmakers we have here, we get to enjoy the beauty and wonder of cinema. Here with me tonight are these amazing directors who will talk more about the art of visual storytelling. This assembled group of admirable Filipino filmmakers continue to make their mark on our local film industry today, thanks to their triumphs and trials that unfailingly astound us. Let's begin with the director and writer known for Zelda, the first Filipino film accepted in the Montreal World Film Festival and Thessaloniki International Film Festival and the 2017 Shanghai International Film Festival Golden Goblet Award winner, Pauwi Na. We have here Direk Paolo Villaluna. Hi, Direk.
Hi, good evening. Maraming salamat sa pag-imbita ninyo sa akin.
The pleasure is all ours, Direk. Thank you so much. Next is the writer, director of the 2018 Cinema One Originals Audience Choice and Young Critics Circle 2019 Best First Feature, Mamu and a Mother 2, the director of the most anticipated Dragged In with Manila Luzon and the Cine Kabataan 2018 official entry, Isang Tula para sa Nawawala. We have Direk Rod Singh.
Hello, magandang gabi. Maraming salamat sa pag-imbita sa akin tonight.
Thanks, Direk. And then known for his film Ari, My Life with the King and the 25th Bizol International Film Festival of Asian Cinema Audience Choice and the 14th Cinemalaya Film Festival Best Feature Film, Kung Paano Hinihintay ang Dapit Hapon, director, writer, and producer. Let's all welcome Direk Carlo Catu.
Good evening, Ron. Good evening din po sa mga kasama natin tonight. Thank you sa pag-invite sa akin. Excited ako tonight.
Thanks, Direk. All right. And just around the corner is a writer, director, and also producer known for Meduse and Pascalina, the recipient of the 2012 Cinema One Original Digital Film Festival Best Picture Award. And she's also a director of diverse shorts such as Lonely Girls, Porfiria, and Wag Kang Titingin. We have Direk Pam Miras. Hi, Direk.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you po. All right. And next in line, a director and a writer acknowledged for his dark comedy film, which bagged the 2017 Pista ng Pelikulang Pilipino Jury's Choice Award, Patay na si Jesus. And he's also the director of Ang Nanay ni Justin Barber, John and Martian, and Lucid. We have Direk Victor Villanueva.
Hello, good evening. Happy to be here. Post lang kayo ng comment dyan, guys, sa ibaba. And may ang dami nating viewers ngayon. Yeah.
Thanks, Direk Victor. Good evening. Thank you. And up next is the writer, director of the documentary An Orchestra in Search of a Home and the 2014 Cinemalaya Best Production Design and Special Jury Awardee under the New Breed category, Kana, the Dream Weaver. Let's welcome Direk Ida Anita Del Mundo.
Hi everyone, thanks for having me. Sana marami kayong matutunan today.
Thanks, Direk Ida. Good evening. And joining us is a writer, director, and an actress known for her films Oda sa Wala, Mamay Umeng, and the 2018 Taipei Golden Horse Film Festival NetPac and Asian Film Observatory awardee Gusto Kita with All My Hypothalamus. And she also wrote the screenplay for Excess Baggage, FAMAS 2019 Best Director Direk Dwein Baltazar.
Hello! Ang taray nung may actress. Maraming salamat naman for the recognition na actress din ako. And hello sa lahat ng nanonood tonight.
Thanks, Direk. I love you so much in Sila Sila. All right. And last but not the least, of course, we have a recognized writer-director of the multi-awarded film Recorder, Eerie, Neo Manila, Block Z, and Dead Kids, and the Philippine official entry for the 90th Academy Awards Best Foreign Language Film, Birdshot. He is none other than Direk Mikhail Red.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. Good evening, Direk. Looking forward sa discussion.
Thank you so much, Direk. All right. Before we start, I'd like to just say very cool shirts. Thank you so much for wearing them, Direk. If you guys are interested to purchase these Pelikulang shirts, you can pre-order now on the link in the caption of this live. All right. To begin our discussion, our icebreaker question would be, if you could have one movie character to be your companion for the last 2 months of 2021, who would it be and why? Again, if you could have one movie character to be your companion for the last 2 months of this year, who would it be and why? Can you start with Direk Rod?
Nag-iisip pa ako, 'di ba? Syempre nag-iisip ako ng lalaki. Sorry. Yung medyo alam mo na for lockdown. Teka lang ang dami kasing pwede. Ang hirap naman movie character, no? Hindi artist.
Pwede rin pong for consideration.
Ano ba? Feeling ko na lang, yung cast na lang ng Game Boys movie. Yun, kasi yun yung recent na napalabas lately. So feeling ko yun na lang bilang rin naman, friends na naman si Kokoy. Para, tsaka lockdown kasi yung setting nila, di ba? So, tapos probinsya pa. So, perfect yun.
Very fitting. Thanks, Direk Dorod. All right. And can we have Direk Carlo to follow that, please? Who would be your movie companion or movie character companion, Direk?
Ako ba o Paolo?
Ay, Direk Carlo po. Sorry.
Ako yun. Alam, nag-iisip pa din ako. Pressure hindi nyo to sinend beforehand saglit.
Para spontaneous, Direk.
Ako, well, siguro, iniisip ko kung si Popoy ba o si Basha. Baka pwedeng silang dalawa para makipagbatuhan din ako ng linyahan sa kanila. Kasi, di ba, this lockdown, parang sarap emote. Tapos lagi lang silang emote, di ba? Yung kakain ka lang ng fried chicken, gaganon ni Popoy. Hoy, tama na. Gaganon sila ng balat ng manok, di ba? So, baka silang dalawa.
Okay. Thank you, Direk Carlo. And how about you, Direk Dwein po? Kayo po.
Grabe, pang Miss Universe yung question. Hindi ko ready. Pero iniisip ko baka baka piliin ko si Jessie sa Before Sunset Sunrise sa trilogy.
Okay.
Kasi ang dami niyang hanasya buhay. So baka pwede ko siyang makasama and all parang before sunrise, sunset, and midnight para lang makausap ko siya all throughout ng yung pinagdaanan niya and all. Kung pwedeng isama si Celine, why not? Para pagtulungan namin si Jessie.
Thanks, Direk. I love that. That would be before 2022. That would be your film title kung sakali.
Pwede.
Thanks, Direk Dwein. Okay. And how about Direk Mikhail? Sa inyo po, who would be your movie character companion?
Siguro ngayon, dahil pandemic, baka Doctor Strange or si Rick sa Rick and Morty. Gusto ko munang mag-parallel universe muna.
Good choice. Thank you po. All right. How about for you po, Direk Ida? Sino po sa inyo?
Ang hirap. Naisip ko din si Jessie, before sunset kasi mahaba-habang usapan yan habang naka-lockdown. Pero pwede rin si Wanda from WandaVision para everyday ibang era.
I like that, yeah. What would be your favorite era po, Direk, if ever?
Oh my gosh. Maybe, 90s kid ako, so 90s. Sarap bumalik sa 90s.
Very 90s sitcom pang setup na. Okay po. Thanks, Direk Ida. All right. And Direk Victor po, kayo po.
Kakapanood ko lang ng Peninsula, yung sequel sa Train to Busan. So siguro yung survivors doon kasi kung pandemic nga, may virus, gawin na natin exciting, di ba? Takbuhan, habulan, kagatan. As in, itodo na natin, di ba? Apocalyptic scenario kaysa alam mo tong incompetence ng government and pa-lockdown and off lockdown, gawin na natin survival, ganun. Sure.
Okay. We are not holding back. All right. All right. Great answer. Thank you po. And Direk Pam po, how about you po?
Siguro si Mike sa Magic Mike. Played by Channing Tatum. Obvious reasons.
For good conversation po, no, I take it.
And good visuals.
Good visuals. Okay. Thank you po, Direk Pam. And last but not the least, we have finally Direk Paolo po. Who would be your movie character companion, Direk?
Ilunahan ako ni Direk Pam kay Mike eh. Shit, actually mahirap yung question. Pwede dalawa?
Sige po.
Si Rachel sa Blade Runner, yung original Blade Runner, yung replicant woman. Tsaka si Ryan Reynolds sa La La Land.
Ryan Reynolds po? Or Ryan Gosling?
Ryan Gosling. Yeah. Ryan Gosling. Oh, si Sebastian.
Kalusag ko ba may cameo po ba siya? Okay.
Tapos pag bumisita si Mike, Pucha will have fun.
Daan ka sa bahay namin.
Sounds like a great way to end the 2021. No? Thank you po. Thanks, Direk. All right, those are amazing and witty answers. On a more serious note, I know that this pandemic has, changed most of our lives. And, as we as we continue to face our new normal, we want to know what your creative process was or how your creative process were during this pandemic. May we have Direct Dwein to start this, please?
Ay, bakit ako agad?
Kayo po nabunot. How do you process po or how's your creative process po, we wonder, during this pandemic?
This pandemic creative process, ano bang iniisip ko kung ano mga ginawa ko ngayong pandemic ha? Kasi parang lahat ng ginawa ko ngayong pandemic, ako lang yung nag-direct, hindi ako yung nagsulat, parang ganun. So parang creatively parang paano ba? Ewan ko, siguro pwede bang kasama sa creative process yung panonood ng K-drama? Kasi totoo, ang dami kong napipick up sa visuals and narrative ng K-drama na kaya kong bitbitin sa pagdidirect ng serye, paggawa ng serye. So parang isa yon sa mga naging, ang babaw niya, pero isa yon sa mga naging proseso ko. Nag-direct ako ng una kong teleserye. So parang laging manood, laging nanonood ng K-drama and mga pelikula, wala masyado, not so much. Hindi ako masyadong nanood ng pelikula. Parang ayun. Writing, wala ako masyadong naisulat this pandemic. Parang meron lang isa. Pero tungkol din siya sa pandemic. So, parang nag-dive ka na lang or mas inano mo pa, mas dinama mo pa yung nangyayari sa paligid. Parang ganun.
Mm-hmm.
Yun lang. Yun yung
Thanks, Direk. So in a way, getting your inspiration, getting the right venue for your inspiration for your creative process din po. No? Thank you po. For you po, Direk Carlo, how about you po? How's your creative process during this, circumstances that we're in right now?
Well, yung sa akin naman medyo mas dun sa mas serious o na kung K-drama si Dwayne ako, nakaangkla pa rin ako dun sa pagkawala ng nanay ko last year. Tumama nung panahon
Condolences
ng
po.
pandemic. Tapos, though hindi COVID, pero namatay kasi si mama ko ng cancer. So, totoo pala yung sinasabi nila na pag nawala yung, well, I think specifically yung nanay, change na talaga yung perspektiba mo sa mundo eh. Tapos kasabay pa yun ng pandemya. So parang ang lungkot-lungkot na nung may pandemya tapos mawalan ka pa ng nanay or siguro sa mga nawalan po dyan sa mga nanonood natin ng mahal nila sa buhay. Parang todo-todo. So kaninang sumasagot si Dwayne, tinignan ko ano ba yung mga nagawa kong projects. Halos lahat para siyang continuous love letter para sa nanay ko. Yun yung naging process. Hanggang ngayon, I think may mga gagawin pa ako hanggang early next year na patungkol pa rin sa nanay ko or humahapyaw pa rin sa pagkawala ng isang mahal sa buhay. And I think, parang at the end of the day, nung nawala yung nanay ko, parang ilang buwan akong hindi humawak ng anything creative na work. Nag-resign ako sa ABS-CBN noong mga panahon na yun kasi parang palagay ko, what's the point? There's really no point. Pero ang hopeful din isipin na somehow yung paggawa ng pelikula, pagsulat ng script, somehow saved me din dun sa kalungkutan na nararamdaman ko. So yun, nakaangkla talaga siya dun sa pagkawala ni mama. Pero ang nakakatuwa sa mga mainstream ko na projects, binabalutan namin siya ng either comedy or yun, family drama. So yun yung parang pinaka naging creative process ko. Tapos I think isa sa mga gusto ko din i-note is yung kung mahirap nang gumawa ng pelikula before pandemic, mas mahirap gumawa ngayon. So I think mas naging resourceful ako personally. So may mga ibang mga bagay na dati hindi namin ginagamit na device or madalang. So ngayon puro na yung mga digital devices, 'di ba? Yung mga magte-text na lang or nakita na lang sa Facebook yung importanteng information. Imagine mo, 'di ba? Yung dating diary ng tagal-tagal na nasa taas lang nung kusa. Ano nga yun? Di ba? Ngayon text na lang ganyan. So isa yun sa mga nagagamit ko na devices kung paano maging mas resourceful sa pagkukwento natin ngayon.
Thank you po, Direk Carlo. First of all, of course, our sincere condolences. But we appreciate you sharing that intimate part of yourself. And I can't imagine with the circumstances that we are in right now is hard enough. So it's a lot more talaga, a lot more na harder pa. It's a lot harder talaga losing someone very special to us. So thank you for sharing po how your creative process goes. To follow that up, Direk Ida, what would be your creative process po?
So right now, well, umpisa pa lang ng 2020, ang dami ng mga nangyari sa akin na I was really putting everything on hold then. And for siguro the whole last year, na-stuck ako sa New York, which is not the worst. Well, medyo worse siya kasi ang taas ng cases nila last year. But I was able to, explore, be more creative. Tapos, pagbalik ko dito sa Manila, ayun, na-stuck na naman ako. And while everything, like maraming projects na on hold, I've been using the time to study film. So first time kong mag-film school ngayon, I'm enrolled in a school in New York. Pero nandito naman ako. So online lang muna yung classes ko. But finally, nag-film school na ako and I can really be more confident na filmmaker ako kasi for the longest time, I've just been like learning on the job kind of and winging everything. So ngayon, mas nabibuild ko yung confidence ko and that's how I think I'll be a better filmmaker after this course.
Thank you, Direk Ida. And congratulations po. I think learning really is a continuous process talaga. There really is never a plateau for learning. So if for Direk Dwein, we have inspiration. For Direk Carlo, we have tribute. For Direk Ida, we have learning as their, integral part, I'd say, of their creative process during this pandemic. How about for Direk Victor po? How about you, sir?
I think I'm the same with everyone else now. It's taking the time to absorb as much as I can, and siguro most of my time right now is occupied with a lot of gaming, And siguro kung si Dwayne naman kay drama, ako naman mga anime, ganun, binalikan ko lang yung mga mga ibang anime. Parang na-accept ko na parang during this pandemic, parang there's no time muna for passion projects, parang i-stop ko muna. And alam mo yun, like I tried to, how do you call this, develop yung mga old kung nakabaon na mga concepts, pero parang may uncertainty lang na ay, kailan ba to gagawin? Kasi right now parang ang hirap. So parang may cycle of hopelessness lang na ganun. So I try to distract myself with, like learning other stuff. Like, ang dami kong sinubscribe at dinownload sa masterclass at Skillshare, pero never ko pinanood. So, ayun, basta nandiyan lang yan. Ganun.
Relate.
So, ganun lang. So parang, it's there. So, I actually did my first pandemic na movie na lock-in, ganun, my first time to do a movie. And iba din pala yung shooting in a bubble, ganun. So it was a new experience for me. And ayun, and I hope so siguro itong mga bagong protocols sa shoot na na limited yung hours, ganun. I hope magpatuloy siya, hindi lang dahil sa sa pandemic, but para proper naman yung working hours ng mga production.
Thank you, Direk. That's a great point, no? So basically, coping is a huge part then of our creative process. Thank you so much for all of your answers, Direk. I'm sure all of our listeners and viewers right now have picked up a lot, of inspirations and insights from you. Now, for the next part here, we will have designated questions for specific directors. But again, everyone is very free to chime in after if they have any thoughts or anything that they would like to add, no? For this first question that we have, it's for Direk Paolo. How do you manage, sir, to maintain your, the emotional authenticity throughout the story of a film?
Okay. Akala ko how I maintain my weight during the pandemic. Okay. Sorry, Miss Universe moment. Ano ulit yung question? How do you maintain what?
How do you, sir, maintain the emotional authenticity throughout the whole story of the film?
Okay. Ang daming layers niya, no? Because one, nagsusulat ka pa lang, meron ng emotional direction yung character mo that you imagine and that supports the story. However, pagdating mo sa casting, syempre, when you collaborate with your actor na, may ibang thoughts na yan. And then, when I cast kasi, I try to imbibe the sensibility of the actor. So, swak ba yung emotional design ko for the character with the actor? Does she get it or will she deliver it differently? So, medyo, to answer that question, medyo I need to figure out those two layers first. Once solved mo na yon, the consistency all throughout the film will be dependent on, you have to understand directors look at big picture. I'm sure my other directors will agree, we all shoot kasi iba-ibang eksena per day. Okay, ngayon yung consistency ng emotion niyan, apart from the continuity person reminding us, we always look at the big picture. Is the character reacting this way now, pero wait, later on, this will happen to him. So medyo, the trick is, apart from those two layers that I mentioned, is to always look at the big picture. Parang at the end of the day, tama ba yung decision or emotional arc ng character based dun sa gusto mong ikwento. But to answer it briefly, it's directors should look at the big picture. Of course, there are changes sometimes on the set, no? Sometimes we have a brilliant actor who'll just suddenly just change the whole story. And then you also make adjustments as long as it leads dun sa point of your story.
I see. Thank you, Direk. So calibration in a way and consistency plays a huge part in, and knowing the bigger picture, as you have said. Would anyone else like to chime in or add on that? Direks, the floor is open po, if in any case. Sige po, Direk Dwein. Ay, sorry. Sorry. Kala ko you're raising your hand po. Okay, sige po. All right. Well, moving on to the next question po. This is for Direk Pam. How do you address societal and political issues po using your craft?
It's kind of hard to do that right now because my craft, meaning what I do for a living, doesn't have much space para gawin yun kasi direct teleseries. So, nasa material na rin yun eh. And actually, how I practice that is with everyday life actually. Not sa films lang or ano, especially with the kind of work I do, medyo kailangan separate siya eh. But sa personal, I guess maybe because vocal lang ako online about these things na nasasabi na parang, and I used to be a part of Cineres back and organize all these screenings na my body of work really reflects societal issues. Pero kasi sa body of work, pero kasi yung ginagawa mo namang pelikula or script tungkol sa lipunan naman talaga siya eh. So as long as authentic siyang depiction ng realidad natin, I think maa-address yung issue or maipapakita, not necessarily madidiscuss siya ng tuluyan, ng masinsinan in the work that you do. Pero makikita, hindi mo maiaalis yun totally. So, I don't know if I answered that question.
That makes sense po, Direk Pam. Thank you so much po. No? In a way, every film naman talaga is always a reflection of the society din talaga. And Direk Paolo po, you have something to add po.
Hi, ang ganda kasi nung sinabi ni Pam. Gusto ko lang buntutan yung sinabi ni Pam na as filmmakers and as storytellers, hindi mo mahihiwalay ang politics mo, whether babae ka or may minority kang ina-advocate or you're really conscious about social issues, hindi mo siya matatanggal. In fact, confident ako with Pam, who's a very strong woman na even sa teleserye niya may empowerment na nangyayari. It's a good note lang to students here na hindi nyo mahihiwalay sa kwento ang social reality. Kahit anong genre pa yan, comedy, rom-com, or whatever. Another point na gusto kong na sinabi ni Pam is yung personal advocacy. Most of us here, kahit hindi gumawa ng pelikula, we were part of advocacies in the community. So I think maganda rin na mapunto yun sa mga estudyante na personal advocacy actually matters.
Thank you, Direk Paolo, for shedding some light and sharing that po. Okay. Anyone else would like to add in on this? Okay, so moving on to the next question po. This one po is particularly for Direk Mikhail din, pero I think everyone would be able to relate din naman on this. And again, feel free to chime in if you have any thoughts. No? Pero for Direk Mikhail, in the field of filmmaking, why do you think criticism is important?
Well, ako personally, I've made different kinds of films, di ba? Gumawa ng independent films from local grants, gumawa ng genre films, gumawa ng films for studios and for streaming, and very parang diverse yung career ko, and a lot of people parang follow that, no? They follow yung progression, yung track, and of course I read reviews and I see parang yung feedback sa work ko, and I even not just my films, I like watching yung mga YouTube reviews and reactions to different films. And I think it's important, parang syempre important yung film appreciation, important yung discourse. It helps builds an audience, no? It builds taste. Even as a filmmaker, diba, it's important to watch the film, watch reaction, watch it a second time, watch it with other people, other filmmakers, talk about a film with filmmakers, di ba, sa Sinepanghalina. After a premiere, lahat mag-get together and they discuss the films. So I think it's important for building an audience, for film appreciation in general, for students, and even for filmmakers. You can always learn something even from a bad film. And you can also reflect, diba? As a filmmaker, and you read reviews about your films, you get to see siguro maybe tama to, diba? Baka nga weak point ko to. Okay, this one at least na highlight yung strengths, and you learn a lot from that. And diba, sa next project mo, you get to parang challenge yourself, explore something else, try something else, or parang improve upon things na hindi mo na pansin before. Pero yun you have to take that risk. I think yun lang naman ang essential sa filmmaker, no, relentless ka. We know we all started making films na no one asked for. Diba? We would just go out, make your short film na parents mo lang yung audience or pang YouTube lang, and you don't stop until one day someone decides to finance you kasi nakikita nila ang passionate mo. And I think yun lang naman important. So yeah, syempre, I always welcome film criticism, and I like reading.
Amazing. Excellent point, Direk Miguel. I like that. Also related lang din sa part ng sinabi mo. Maybe that's one of the experience din na nakakamiss sa panonood ng sine, no? Like when you watch a film, especially with your friends, like the kumbaga banlaw session where you talk about what happened in the film. Kasi 'di ba minsan we watch a film and sometimes we don't actually get like what it's for, what the message that it's trying to send across until we actually hear someone else's point of view na parang oh ano, that makes sense, 'di ba? So in a way it's a good thing din talaga that we hear other people's criticism din kasi it sheds some light and cleared the path for us. So, anyone else would like to add in on this din po? Thank you, Direk Mikhail, for that answer. Yes po, Direk Carlo.
Ako, naalala ko lang yung dati sa isang writing group na sinalihan ko. Sabi nila parang hindi naman natin kalaban yung mga nagsasabi ng negatibong bagay sa mga sinusulat natin. Mas kalaban natin yung mga walang pakialam. Alam mo yun? So parang at the end of the day, itong mga comments na to, kahit ako minsan mahirap din silang basahin kasi hindi naman laging perfect yung ginagawa natin. Pero yun nga, sabi nga ni Mick, di ba, parang may matututunan ka sa isang pangit na pelikula. Pero at the same time, tayong mga filmmaker, meron ka din mapupulot sa mga pangit na reviews somehow. Kasi hindi din lahat naman ng reviews ay kailangan pakinggan. So pipiliin mo din kung ano yung mga makakatulong sa'yo at iiwanan mo yung mga hindi makakatulong. Kasi at the end of the day, I think naniniwala ko na lahat ay work in progress. So eventually makikita mo din na baka yung ayaw nila is yun talaga ikaw, alam mo yun? So baka mas i-own mo siya, mas i-embrace mo siya, alam mo yun? Baka hindi lahat kasi ng mga comments nila sa'yo may kailangan kang gawin. Baka yung iba kailangan mo lang yakapin at pausbungin palalo kasi baka yun pala talaga ikaw. So ayun lang, parang wag din tayong matakot. I think it also parang para sa akin din siya kasi ako minsan natatakot na rin ako sa mga reviews kasi aminin natin, 'di ba, ngayon na technological world na tayo na lahat may opinion, lahat may nasasabi. Ang hirap din, parang lahat perfect, ganyan. Pero yun, parang at the end of the day, siguro gusto ko lang din sabihin sa mga nagre-review na parang at the end of the day, kindness. Charot. Hindi, pero alam mo yun, parang at the end of the day, we can always say things in a good way. Alam mo yun, not in a demeaning manner na parang, boy, ayoko na mag-filmmaker. Pero yun, mahirap din talaga ang buhay sa pagpipelikula. Pero kailangan maging matibay tayo. Kagaya sa mga panahon ngayon na kailangan matibay tayo kasi, charot. Yun.
Thank you, Direk Carlo. That completely makes sense po. And this is a really good conversation for everyone, no? So maybe we have Direk Rodin po to chime in on this.
Yeah, siguro sundutan ko lang din yung mga sinabi nila. But siguro ako kasi as for me, parang especially kapag ako personally when I criticize a film, nagfo-focus lang ako with the politics of the film. I don't really go into the direction, the script, the cinematography or everything about it. Kasi I believe naman na subjective kasi ang form naman ng pelikula. And I respect the creativity, the creative process behind it. Pero when Pero kapag ang critique ay nanggagaling doon sa politika, sa dangers na gustong sabihin ng pelikula na pinopropagate niya or ine-echo niya in general, I think yun yung ako openly akong nagsasalita about it. Pero like hindi ko naging ugali mag-review ng pelikula kung hindi ko gusto. Siguro lagi akong nasa positive side na gusto ko siya ganito. Pero unless siguro may dangers talaga of doon sa politika kung paano niya pinapalabas yung gusto niyang mensahe. Siguro doon ako mas parang kailangan i-draw yung line din. And of course, hopefully directors or the screen writers will also recognize na merong may punto, na valid yung ganung pagpuna kasi bumabalik ako doon sa ang pelikula ay isang forma ng pagbibigay ng mensahe, 'di ba? So parang kung ito yung mensahe na pinopropagate mo sa pelikula mo at alam natin na merong mga totoong tao na nagiging subject or sabihin natin na mas lalong nagpe-perpetuate nung negative ideas tungkol sa kanila, no? Siguro ito yung mas dapat pinagtutuunan ng pansin. Siguro ako hindi ako masyadong naniniwala pag medyo technical yung critique about something, about the direction, about blockings or whatsoever, because sometimes you have to see the story for yourself din eh. Kasi I know that lahat ng director may mga dahilan bakit ganito yung blocking nila, bakit ganito yung acting ng artista, bakit ganito, ganyan. So ako, nire-respeto ko yun. At the end of the day, pag nanonood ka naman ng pelikula, ang una mo namang titignan at ang magdadala sa dulo sa'yo ay yung kwento naman. No? So, ako yun. And yeah, siguro it goes both sides then for filmmakers to be also, you don't really need to react. Yun naman yun. Hindi mo naman kailangang mag-react. But also, you don't need to retaliate in a way kapag napuna. Dahil I don't think na personal yung pinanggagalingan ng mga puna kadalasan. Sometimes it's not even about you. It's just about your politics or your film in general. It's not about you. So I guess siguro ako yun. Alam naman natin na meron talagang magsasabi na pangit yung mga nagawa nating pelikula regardless of overwhelming good reviews. Meron at merong magsasabi na pangit. And sometimes masusugatan ka, 'di ba? Pero at the end of the day, it's all up to you if magre-react ka, tatanggapin mo or dead na, 'di ba? Ayun.
Thank you, Direk. I think diyan papasok yung danger and critical na part ng misrepresentation. So I agree definitely that message plays a very important factor din in storytelling. Direk Pam po, you have something to add po?
Yeah. Since napag-usapan lang yung film criticism, parang sobrang glaring na walang babaeng film critic ngayon. Like, I don't know if you can still count Jessica Zafra if she still actively reviews films or writes about films. Pero kulang na kulang, I guess. So if there are students listening in, parang we really need yung voice ng babae sa pagsusulat about films. Because it's medyo alarming that parang we only hear the same voices palagi when you write about films. So I don't know, I hope during this pandemic, since medyo mahirap gumawa, a lot of people studying film might consider getting into that. Kasi kailangan natin ng perspective or framework ng well, you can write about films na iba-iba nga yung framework, whether gender yan or socio-political or kung ano man. Pero iba pa rin yung boses ng babae, I guess. So, just want to add that.
Thank you po, Direk Pam. That's a great point then as well. For our viewers right now, let this be a message then to inspire our aspirant female filmmakers or anyone who's interested in the industry then. We need more voices like you pa. Direk Victor po, you raised your hand earlier. Okay na.
Okay na. Sorry, glitch.
Glitch. Okay pa. Thank you po, Direk. Thank you again for all of your insights. Sobrang helpful niya. And Direk Rod po, it's a good thing that we also tackled the misrepresentation and the importance po of the message of the film, because this next question is for you po. But again, it's also open for everyone who would like to add. What do you think po is the state right now of the Philippine cinema in terms of gender representation?
Sobrang layo. I mean, I'm not just pertaining to queer representation but also women. Yeah, with madalas natin nakikita ang mga babae sa pelikula, pero iba ang babae kapag babae rin ang gumawa, no? So we have few women directors, and mapapansin din naman natin kasi representation is not just about the characters on screen eh. Sa akin, parte nung representation yung mga gumagawa nung character na ito. Kasi it's always different kapag yung nagsulat ay may pinanggagalingan talaga o yung gumawa mismo. So, of course, alam natin that, you know, even, for example, ang sex scene, it's different when, you know, kapag lalaki ang direktor ang gumawa ng sex scene at kapag babae ang gumawa ng sex scene. Kasi mas, dito na pumapasok kung paano tinitignan eh, 'di ba? Same with me. It's different when I you know, when I project male characters and represent queer characters on screen, kasi mas personal sa akin yung paglagay ng karakter doon sa material. At siguro yung estado na yun, although kulang pa, pero I think nakikita ko na nasa tamang direction naman so far. And kaya nga ako, I always avoid criticizing any queer film right now unless it's really, really dangerous, because we need the support, no? And yun kasi yun eh, yun yung nagdidikta. Ito yung palagi kong sinasabi pag may nagtatanong about representation, paano pwedeng mapayabong and all that. Sadly, we don't own the industry. We don't control the industry. Darating may mga punto or madalas na nanlilimos tayo ng producers to actually produce a queer content. And ang unang-una kasi nilang tinatanong ay, of course, their business. Saan kikita ba yan? No, it's always that question. Or at least man lang mababalik ba yung tinaya ko dyan. At mahirap because walang or bilang sa kamay yung mga material na queer na nag-succeed, no? Or sabihin natin na hindi mo pwedeng questionin ang pelikula kung kikita o hindi kapag si Vice ganda yung artista or si Paolo Ballesteros. But kapag nag-deviate ka dito, because of course limited din yung budget mo and you can't afford these actors to be in your film, dun papasok yung ano pa yung pwede. So ako parang lagi ko sinasabi na sana kapag may lumabas na queer content, panoorin nila kung binibenta yung ticket or kailangan panoorin. Kasi magagamit ng lahat ng filmmaker yun eh. Kapag naging successful yung pelikula ni ganito na queer, pwede mo siyang magamit. Kumita yung with the same Kasi hindi na, yun lang naman eh. Kailangan lang namin ma-eliminate yung, hindi yan kikita kasi wala ka sa ganitong Pero kapag may isa or dalawa na you know, kumita, hindi na yun yung question eh. So at least man lang na nakaangat ka ng konti doon sa paghahagal kung bakit kailangang i-produce yung kwento. So doon siya mag-start eh. And of course, siguro mas ini-encourage ko talaga na, you know, as much as possible, queer creators yung mag-create ng mga queer contents na ito. Kasi iba-iba man ng pinanggagalingan or ng politika, I think yung may mga nuances kasi at saka yung lived experience na common for a lot of queer creators na mako-capture ng pelikula eh. And hindi nila kailangan maging maalam sa lahat ng bagay. Kailangan lang nilang, you know, sometimes kailangan mo lang ng pakiramdam na parang malito, parang hindi to tama. At yun lang naman yung mahalaga. Hindi naman kailangan everything is by the book or kung ano yung sinabi ni ganito, ni ganyan. Kailangan mo lang talagang maging grounded na alam mo na pag gumagawa ka ng material about queer issues, for example, or queer characters, lagi mong iniisip na hindi to tungkol sa akin, hindi to tungkol sa kung ano yung mararamdaman ko. Minsan, gusto mo ring isipin ano kayang iisipin or mararamdaman nung manonood. Kasi sometimes it's okay for us, pero pag pinanood mo na halimbawa sa nanay mo, sa kapatid mo, or sa ibang tao na hindi natin, tulad na hindi queer, iba na yung nararamdaman nila. So, part din yun nung proseso nung paggawa ng kwento na kahit alam natin na hindi naman to mali, pero if it's going to, parang mas magkakaroon ng dangers kahit hindi yun yung intention. Syempre mas parang yun yung mahirap. Actually, it's walking on eggshells. Pag gumagawa ka ng anything sensitive right now, and I understand bakit kaunti. Pero again and again, dahil konti siya, kapag merong lumabas, ayun, sana suportahan talaga. Kasi yun lang, I think yun yung unang-unang step.
Thanks, Direk po. Yeah. Thank you so much po for that amazing and for letting us speak na rin on how it's like behind the creative process of creating a queer film. No, I think that's the genius behind Mamu rin na rin kasi it felt so genuine that you were the one from. I mean, speaking from experience, speaking from something genuine. Then so the film itself was, I mean, came across as really, really real. No, and I like po na it wasn't as the normal bury the gay trope, no, na it did show the struggle po, but it was very realistic pa rin and
Yeah.
entertaining.
Actually, never ko tong nasabi in public, but when I made Mamu, I don't identify as trans. But deep inside, I know I am. And it somehow helped me embrace my gender identity in a way that na-channel ko of how I want to be seen, how I want the world to see how we transition. That it's never about that. And when siguro yun yung parang naging I'm not gonna say that it's a coming out film, but more of like I think the reason why yung pelikula sobrang dami niyang for example, si Mamo, meron siyang mga internalized transphobia in a way that she tries to limit herself because unconsciously that's what I do with myself before. I somehow limit myself because it's my debut film and I don't know yet if mabibigyan pa ako ng other opportunity when I identify as trans. I don't know yet about the industry. So it took me a while, not until last year because of the pandemic and I'm all alone sa kwarto na mas pinili kong tanggapin na lang and identify because yun talaga siya eh. And siguro nakatulong yung mga nabasa kong reviews in a way because may isang nag-review ng pelikula ko na sinasabi niya tong mga internalized oppression na hindi ko siya consciously ginawa. When I was writing the film, hindi ko siya consciously ginawa. I just thought na ako to si Mamu, so ganito ko siya isusulat. And then doon ko na-realize na oh my God, I have my may internalized transphobia ako because of these things. And I recognize that and I embrace that and I'm learning. And actually isa yun sa mga reviews na somehow in a way hindi siya about the pelikula but more of like sa akin naman siya tumagos because ako yung nagsulat and na-realize ko na yun sundot-sundot siya, konektado siya. So babalikan ko yung punto dun sa criticism na sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's not. Always up to you. So ayun.
Thank you, Direk. That's so beautiful po. Thank you so much for sharing that information with us. And I'm glad that you have found your truth and currently living it po. Thank you so much po. For Direk Pam po, you have something to add?
Yeah, on the issue of representation lang. Kasi I think panahon na rin para hindi lang tayo gumawa ng films with trans people or gay people or LGBTQI people in roles that are about or in stories about that, about yung journey ng gender nila. I mean, can't we have a lawyer, a doctor na trans, or alam mo yon, parang a shop owner na trans, just to see them playing normal everyday roles because parang yun nga kailan tayo nakita ng doctor na trans man or trans woman, and characters like that. And I think parang it's a good challenge for us to parang hindi pag sinabing yun nga doctor straight, di ba? Parang it doesn't always have to be that way. And ako, feeling ko, malaking step yon in the representation and breaking away na sa mga stereotypes. Ayun, yun lang. But I guess yung point ko lang is kung ang usapin ay representation, is just to have more characters na ganun.
Yeah.
In
Excellent
fairness,
point.
sa teleserye ni Dwein, because I manage EJ Halarina, she's a trans actor. What we like about the role nung inoffer siya, it's never about the trans, it's just a character who happens to be the best friend of Janine na ganon, hindi siya about the transness, it's just that the character happens to be trans. And I think we're in the right direction because we're celebrating it kasi it's TV, it's ABS, no? Yeah, I think napupunta naman na tayo doon kahit papaano, and hopefully sana nga maganyan yung ideal, but the problem is we don't have a bigger room for a lot of actors. Maraming directors or producers ayaw mag-cast without acting experiences. So maybe a call for directors also to give chance dun sa mga wala pang acting experience to actually try out for a role para eventually mas maging bankable sila or makast na sila for future projects. Kasi I think yun yung nagiging problem. Parang right now, ilan lang naman yung pinagpipilian nila lagi. Umiikot lang actually. Pero dahil hindi bumabagay dun sa apat, ina-adjust nila yung role. Pinapalitan na lang nila, o sige, wag na lang natin gawing trans, bakla na lang kasi mas maraming options. So, yung napansin namin ay laging ganun. Parang pag may nagtatanong sa akin na ibang production, may mare-refer pa ba akong ibang trans actor pag hindi pwede si EJ, hindi bumabagay yung available or sinasabi nila, meron po bang may acting experience na? Kasi ako nagbabato ko ng walang acting experience but I think kaya kasi ito lang naman yung role na hinihingi. So, parang ako sinasabi ko rin sa mga fellow directors na sana sugalan din nila yung mga wala pang acting experience kasi doon talaga siya magse-start. Lalo na kung kahit minor characters lang kasi okay na yon. Parang step na rin yun sa right direction eventually. So, ayun.
Dagdag na lang din ako kasi I did Hello Stranger. Although the movie, mga creators nun and writers is from the community, LGBTQI community. I'm an ally. Tapos kahit yung dalawang actors ko, ally sila, pero hindi sila from the community. Pero ako, at least man lang, if we're talking about representation, at least man lang, yung mga actors na i-hire natin, kung hindi mismo out or gay or something, at least vocal sila about it sa flight ng LGBTQA community, at least mapanindigan nila yung stance, lumalaban sila kasama namin, parang ganun. Tapos, isang bagay din na parang in-name ko while directing Hello Stranger, ayoko na mukha siyang lalaki ayokong maging issue na lalaki siya na in love sa isang kapwa niya lalaki. Parang gusto ko pass to that tayo. Mukha lang siyang dalawang taong nag-ibigan and that's it. So, walang malaking sabog ng aminan or walang malaking confusion, walang malaking coming out, walang ganon. Kasi usually nga, yun nga, parang yung mga narrative sa community, laging may ganon. I mean, pwede naman, okay naman yun, pero if we're aiming then for normalcy, ma-normalize yung mga bagay-bagay nga, parang at least sana itrato natin na normal lang din siya. Parang ganun. Ayun siya for me.
Thanks, Direk. Yeah, great points actually. Sorry, I just want to add lang din na to your point, guys, na yung sexuality and the gender of the character is not about that. I mean, it's not about it. It's just an element of their character, no? So to Direk Pam's point nga, no, na pwedeng magkaroon ng lawyer or a doctor na you don't have to focus on their sexuality, yung kumbaga yun yung character plot points nila. So think of a film like kunyari yung Lingua Franca, no? Lingua Franca stars a transgender woman living in another country, no? But the struggle is not really about her sexuality. It's only a part of her character, but the whole story is not all about that. So yun. Thank you so much po for all of your points and for sharing all of your thoughts about this po. Since Direk Dwein po, ikaw yung huling nagsalita, this question po is also for you. Ikaw po ang nabunot natin for this. Pero yun po, this question po was actually from one of the registrants of this event po. No? And the question is, what is the role po of women in film in this time of rampant misogyny in our country?
Grabe, nakakatakot sumagot. Parang graded yung answer.
For 10 points po.
Grabe naman yung sagot. Pakiulit.
What do you think po is the role of women in film in this time of rampant misogyny in our country?
Ako napakalaki kasi parang yun nga, sabi nga ni Pam, kailangan natin ng mas maraming kababaihan na magkukwento kasi at least man lang hawak namin yung naratibo. So, nasa amin yung perspective, nasa amin, hawak kaagad namin siya. Walang tawag dito, walang kumokontrol sa amin. So, parang ang laking bagay na makapagsalita ka bilang babae, bilang tao sa gantong klaseng panahon for me, ganun. Tapos ayun, kaya kung may platform tayo, kung meron kang 5,000 followers sa IG, gamitin natin 'yon, hindi lang sa paggawa ng pelikula, pero sa social media na din, parang ganun. So, ayun, for me, kailangan magkwento ng mga babae ng mga sarili nilang kwento and experiences para mas may light on us at hindi lang siya puro haka-haka or puro ibang tao yung nagkukwento ng aming mga experiences. Alam mo yun?
Mm-hmm.
Mas kami. Ayun.
Thank you, Direk Dwein.
Ko.
10 po. Perfect score. Thank you. Anyone else who would like to add in on this?
I agree with Dwein na yung platform and the importance na marinig yung boses and yung perspective ng mga babae, lalo ng mga babaeng filmmaker. Interesting din na pag inisip mo kung yung mga filmmakers na babae sa Philippines, at least sa Philippines, ang daming documentary filmmaker na babae. I think as narrative films. And I think when you look at the work of Filipino filmmakers, matatapang, may gustong sabihin. And that's one of the most important things na kailangan mo pag gumawa ka ng documentary or ng narrative film, na dapat may gusto kang sabihin. And I think maraming mga babaeng filmmaker na may gusto talagang sabihin, and they're using the platform to reach a lot more people.
Thanks, Direk. Okay. Great point po. Platform really is also something that we should be using wisely. No? Kasi it could really influence a lot of people, especially if we have a huge following. Thank you po. For ito naman, so on a very light note naman, no? I know medyo mabigat-bigat yung mga tanong natin, mga past 2 questions. For Direk Victor naman, as a filmmaker who has taken on mixed genres such as dark comedy and sci-fi rom-com, how do you execute a good balance po between contrasting genres?
Wow, parang ang deep ng question. Masterclass level. Paano ba? How to execute? Follow your heart, ganun ba? Or gut feel na lang, ganun? I think always ganun. I think when I do tong mga Hadatos films that I do, because I'm a big genre fan, genre films, ganun. And like there's always that expectation sa genre, pero to make it fresh, you have to find ways to to subvert the genre, or how do you call this, add a spin to it. And I guess that's how you do it. And tawag ito, it's trying to capture parang lightning in a bottle yung execution in terms of sa punchline or sa pag-craft, ganun. So you have to balance it out. And I think it's my difficulty lang in terms of doing genre films sa Philippines, like kasi when you look at mga films sa mga international ganun, like crafting, has always been, how do you call this, malaking factor, and you see Korea, Thailand na nagmi-mix na ng genre, ganun. So parang, I think, I believe naman sa, na, how do you call this, na kaya natin yan, yung ganyang level na, na genre bending craft. I mean, tingnan mo si, Direk Mikhail, na, sa mga films niya, ganun, at sila, Direk Eric, ganun. So, ayun, and with this directors that we have here right now na, may something na pag subvert ng expectations to make it fresh. So, ayun. Yun. Haba ng question ko, haba ng answer ko, no? Pero yes.
Thank you, Direk. Yeah, because for example, no, patay na si Jesus. I think kasi although there are been some great dark comedies din naman in our local scene din naman. Pero parang in a way pa rin, I think Filipinos are not really that familiar much pa, or I think open sa kanong kind of genre, like discussing dark subject matters in a light note or in a light way, since I don't know, maybe because some audience are still conservative pa in a way, no? Pero your movie really paved the way for that kind of genre. So, props to you po, and congratulations po for
siguro when I was making, like, like for example, Patay na si Jesus, hindi ko talaga inisip na, alam mo yun, parang black comedy siya or dark comedy. Parang gusto ko lang na tono ko ganito, and how do you call this, patawa tayo na through the nangyayari, and then later ko lang nalaman, ay ganun pala yung genre, no? Black comedy, nice, ganun ako. So ayun.
Okay, thank you po. Yes po, Direk Rod.
Siguro madalas kasing ma-combine with other genre ay comedy, and I think so far yung apat na kasama yung nagawa na at yung ginagawa ko now, I kinombine ko yung comedy with other genres. And I think yung pinaka-crucial na role in this time of political climate, na joke time na pati ang politika, kailangan malinaw at responsible ang filmmakers that comedy dapat lagi siyang shooting up. No, hindi siya shooting down. You don't make fun of people who are powerless. You make fun of systems, of cultures that keep people oppressed. That's my humor. Yun yung doon ako lagi nagdudwell when I did Mamu, for example. We were so used to comedy films that undermine or ridicule queer characters, and it's different when you're transgressive, when you try to reverse this power structure that we make fun of you, we make fun of the cultures that you people enjoy. We make fun of the system that keeps us oppressed in the first place, but we try to challenge it. So yun yung difference of, maraming tao nakaka-misunderstood ng satire or ng comedy, na comedy is just para sa kanila basta natawa ka, pero they're shooting down, or yung mga tipong ang joke is always about yung mga tao na paulit-ulit ng inapi ng mundo, mga bakla, mga IP, mga mahihirap. Yan naman ang lagi na humor ng mga tao, at alam natin palagi yung bebenta. Pero the responsibility lies, kaya mo bang hindi yun yung gawin mo? At masasabi ko na kaya siya. There are comedies na hindi naman naka-offend ng sensibilities ng mga oppressed. It's okay to offend other people when you use comedy, especially when they're those in power, for example, those who are privileged. But it's never okay to make fun of these people, because the difference is when you joke about straight people and cultures, hindi na oppress yung mga taong ito because of the joke. Hindi sila na oppress because doon sa pagtawa mo sa kultura or sa practice na ginagawa nila. Pero kapag ka nag-joke ka or ginawa mong katatawanan ng isang oppressed na tao, for example, LGBT o kaya mga IP, nagpe-perpetuate ka lang nung mga conditions na nagki-keep sa kanila doon sa kanilang oppression, yung mga may itim, mga nog-nog and all that. Pag pinaulit-ulit natin at inuulit-ulit lang natin ito, hindi siya nabubuwag. And merong mga tao totoong nagle-live or nabubuhay yung joke sa labas ng pelikula. At may mga jokes na nanatiling sa pelikula at lumalabas sa labas pero hindi naman nakakasakit ng mga taong ito. So parang, ayun, kasi I think comedy talaga parang palagi naman siyang may audience, palagi siyang may market. So parang lagi siyang safest to combine with other genre, parang horror comedy, rom-com and everything. Palagi siyang nagwo-work. Pero hindi lahat ng genre na to, hindi lahat ng comedy na yun ay nakakatawa. Nakakatawa pero alam nating mali. So, yung responsibility is always sa filmmaker kasi ikaw yung nag-deliver, hindi naman yung audience. So, you don't blame the audience that they laugh. In the first place, in-install mo yung device na to make them laugh and you know it's wrong. So, the responsibility is nasa iyo. Ayun.
Thanks, Eric Rod. Yes,
add lang ako kay Direk Rod kasi ang ganda ng pagka-articulate niya on using comedy and the responsibility that comes with it. Kasi I had a friend who said na na mas madali makatell ng truth to comedy kaysa pinupukpok mo sa tao yung the truth that you want to emphasize ganun and mas madaling maintindihan and tama na agree na my responsibilities in making jokes and getting your message across. So ganun po. And I guess that's in a way yung paniniwala ko rin sa comedy na suabe lang ganun.
Good point po. Yeah, in a way comedy pulls people more kasi nga syempre lalo na ngayon sa tone or sa climate natin, parang everything is heavy enough. So parang gusto lang din natin minsan mag-chill, mag-relax, no? So, sending important messages through comedy rin, it helps a lot. Thank you po, Direk, for those insights. For our next question naman po, this is for Direk Ida naman. For our aspiring filmmakers po, can you share how do you develop your own directorial style?
Wow. So, yun nga, sabi ko kanina nung introduction, I didn't have film background nung nag-start ako. And I didn't start with a short film. Parang doon agad sa full length nung natanggap sa Cinemalaya. And it was really like just jumping into the deep end and trying to figure it out on the way. But naglakas loob lang ako nung una kasi gusto kong magawa yung pelikula. I wanted to tell the story ng mga Tiboli. And I thought it was something important. So sabi ko, sige, gawin natin. Nagtuturo ako ngayon ng film script writing. And then sometimes I have students na minimentor ko for their thesis. And I always tell them that directing is really vision and confidence. So actually kahit hindi talaga film school, but yung pinaka-importante para sa isang director magkaroon ng vision. Ano yung gusto mong sabihin? Paano mo siya sasabihin through visual language, like what this whole talk is about, visual storytelling. Paano mo binivisualize yung scene and then also having the vision to lead a group in accomplishing that. And then confidence na kaya mo siyang gawin, confidence na tama yung ginagawa mo, confidence sa team mo. And like, you don't necessarily need na mag-film school, but film school builds confidence as well. So kaya ako nagpapatuloy na mag-aral ngayon to build my confidence and make me a better director. So ganun ko na-develop. First is by establishing my vision and what I want to tell, what stories I think are important, kung ano yung perspective ko, and then building confidence naman ngayon para mas ma-build nga yung pagli-lead ko dun sa team. And they have confidence in me as well as I have confidence in them.
Thank you, Direk. Anyone else would like to add in on this, on how they created or structured their directorial style?
Ako.
Yes po.
Ma-present. Ako, hindi ako nag-film school, pero Aminado naman ako na pinalaki ako ng film school ng Quiapo. Sorry talaga, parang doon talaga ako nag-ikot. Dati mas hindi accessible yung mga titles talaga. Wala sa SM, walang ano, Quiapo lang yung meron ako. Tapos parang early on, nung nanonood at nakaka-discover ako ng mga pelikula, alam ko na kung paano sa akin naging, kunyari, isa sa mga major influences ko si Wong Kar-wai, Michelle Gondry, kung paano sila naging sa akin, gusto kong maging ganun ako sa iba. I never wanted to be, gusto ko maging Gondry, gusto ko maging Wong Kar-wai. Never akong naging ganun. Parang gusto ko kung ano yung naparamdam nila sa akin, sa gagawin ko, yun yung gusto kong maparamdam sa audience ko. Parang something like that. Make sense ba? Parang doon ako laging humuhugot sa ano ba yung naparamdam sa akin nito. Tapos yun yung imimimik ko nung gumagawa ako ng pelikula. Parang ganun. And at na-discover ko yun parang late in the process of making my third film na yata. Parang ganun. Kasi maswerte na lang ako na yung first 3 films ko, ang audience ko, ako lang. Ako yung main audience. Wala akong iniisip na kahit kanino, wala akong iniisip na box office, na big studio na kailangan i-please. Wala. Ako lang talaga. So, in that sense, nagawa ko talaga kung anong gusto ko in my first 3 films, ganun. So, parang dun sa proseso ng paggawa, tsaka ko din na-realize or tsaka din ako nag-step back kung ano talaga, dun ko din talaga na-discover yung boses ko, quote and quote, parang ganun. And once na na-discover mo or naging confident ka na sa boses mo, kahit ano pang gawin mo, I feel hindi ka na talaga maliligaw kahit gumawa ka ng bubblegum, kahit gumawa ka ng kung ano man na sobrang layo. Lalo na ako sa unang 3 nasimulan ko, parang pag confident ka na dun sa voice na feeling mo na buo mo, okay ka na kahit saan ka na pumunta. Parang ganun, malalaro mo na siya. Meron ka ng center na pwede mong balikan if ever maligaw ka. Parang something like that.
Thank you, Direk. Finding your own voice. That's very inspiring. Thank you po. Direk, Paolo po, you have something to add?
I just want to add to what everyone mentioned, and I agree with them wholeheartedly. Ilalabas ko itong susunod kong sasabihin outside my directorial style because I also teach directing. Ang ganda nung sinabi ni Dwein na finding your own voice. Okay? Pero yun lang, napaka-importante what we actually mean by finding your own voice. I will always say this to everyone. Understanding film language, the language of close-up, medium shot, full shot, all other techniques, that's very, very easy. That's understanding the alphabet. Nabanggit last time in your I think in your series then, the idea of grammar, words as shots. Okay, but finding your own voice is not just about being able to deliver good grammar. It's actually delivering your own original voice. And let's not be black and white. I believe in stories, but I think there is a bigger role of storytelling. How you actually tell that story. You know how we have amazing directors like Wong Kar-wai, nabanggit si Michelle Gondry, when we say Hitchcockian, or let's say in our case we have Lav Diaz, they have their own style, they have their own voice, and they're original. Kahit anong kwentong ibigay mo sa kanila, it will come out through their own voice. Importante for a filmmaker to actually find their voice. And you can actually start doing that by reviewing yourself. Ano ang influences mo? Anong pinapakinggan mo music? Anong binabasa mong libro? Ano ang favorite films mo? And then try to figure out, bakit ko ba sila favorite? Ba't ako nakikinig kay Madonna at hindi The Beatles? Bakit Rihanna at hindi Taylor Swift? And all of this, suddenly it develops into how you choose your shots, how you block, how you make your story progress. Napaka-importante lang for people to actually really find their voice and that it actually translates cinematically. case in point, example, Pam Miras, her short films, her full-length films has a particular tone and flavor that is very, very distinct. Hindi yan pwedeng gayahin ng ibang filmmaker lang kasi original voice siya eh. It's not about film language, guys, ha. Film language is generic. Any director can direct. Any director can tell a story. That's easy. But telling a story in your own voice, man, that differentiates the ginto from the tae. I mean, and tae is easy. It's finding gold.
Thank you, Direk. It's a really strong message and very, very insightful po. Yes po, Direk Carlo.
Ako, ituloy ko lang din yung sinasabi ni Paolo about finding voice. Kasi hindi ko alam kung kapareho ko yung mga kasama kong director dito. Kasi ako mismo, parang paragay ko, hinahanap ko pa rin yung boses ko hanggang ngayon. Kahit na nakagawa na ako ng ilang mga full-length films at nagtatrabaho na dito sa industriya. And I think yun nga yung tuloy kong sinasabi na parang it's really a work in progress. Pero ang naalala ko, sabi ni Sir Ricky Lee nung nag-aaral kami sa kanya ng script writing, yung subconscious na nakatauhan natin, kasama yon I think dun sa voice na sinasabi natin. And naniniwala ako na minsan nga hindi tayo yung magdidikta ng voice natin. Ibang tao actually makakapansin dun sa boses na meron tayo dun sa ginagawa nating pelikula. Like for example, yung kay Rod, na may nagsinabi na meron pala siyang ganito dun sa mamo niya na hindi niya naman sinulat ng ganun. Pero sinulat niya kasi yun based dun sa truth niya, dun sa worldview niya. And I think yun yung mga una nating steps na kailangan. Feeling ko yung voice, yung finding your voice, feeling ko lang, hindi pwede ako mali dito na hindi mo hinahanap ang boses mo eh. Mas nililive mo yung truth mo. And I think by living your truth, you are able to find your voice na ano siya eh, pagkatao siya. Parang I think kapag pinagawa mo yung mga pelikula ni Brillante Mendoza kay Love Diaz, magiging iba siyang pelikula kahit parehong-parehong script siya. Kapag pinagawa mo yung Mamu kay Dwein or kay Victor, magiging ibang Mamu siya. And hindi mo yun, may mga certain limit na meron siyang, hindi mo yun mapo-formula. Feeling ko hindi mo yun mapo-formula. At the end of the day, ako, again, yung mga sagot ko nga, ang ganda lang nitong mga ganitong klaseng moment kasi nakakapag-reflect din tayo na parang at the end of the day, bubuhayin mo talaga yung katotohanan mo eh. Ano ang mahalaga sa'yo? Naniniwala ka ba sa Diyos? Bakit hindi ka naniniwala sa Diyos? Naniniwala ka ba sa kabutihan? Naniniwala ka ba kay Duterte? Bakit hindi ka naniniwala kay Duterte? Naniniwala ka ba kay... things like that. Ano ang mga pinaniniwalaan mo? At hindi yun parang... Kasi si Dwein ang ganda-ganda ng oda sa wala niya. Maniwala din kaya ako sa mga binabasa niya. Ay, maging K-pop ano din kaya ako? Baka maging kagasinghusay ako ni Dwein. I think at the end of the day, it's really... Sabi nga ni Sir Ricky Lee, sorry, ang dami ang haba na ng sagot ko, pero hindi si Ricky Lee ang magtuturo sa iyo magsulat. Buhay ang magtuturo sa iyo noon. And I think sa mga nakikinig natin ngayon, huwag kang ma-pressure with all these informations. Parang at the end of the day, I think buhayin mo yung katotohanan mo, pero tandaan, maraming fake news ang naglipanan. So kailangan mo din malaman anong katotohanan ang pinaniniwalaan mo kasi all this time pala baka maling katotohanan ka di ba? Hindi ko sinasabi na tamang katotohanan ako, pero yun, maging matalino. I think itong mga the fact na nandito kayo mga audience is you trying to find that voice, trying to find that truth na pinapakinggan mo itong mga journey namin, pero at the end of the day, you have to have your own journey. You have to find kailangan mo tahakin yung own journey mo papunta sa katotohanan mo, and that, I think, is the way papunta dun sa voice mo. Ako, hanggang ngayon, ang dami kong ginawa, drama, blah, blah, blah. Ay, medyo nagagamit ko lang pag sa producer, di ba? Parang, dapat hapon po madrama, kaya ko po yung drama. So parang ngayon, hirap naman akong mag-romcom. Parang kaya ba ni Carlo mag-romcom? Kasi wala pa siyang romcom. Alam mo yun, ito ay politika lang dito sa loob ng pelikula. Pero at the end of the day, I think, lahat tayo dito ay naghahanap pa lang ng katotohanan. And now na ang dami-daming katotohanan sa paligid, kailangan natin magsanib puwersa para talagang mas ipakita ano ba talaga yung mga katotohanan at yung mga importanteng katotohanan na dapat natin kinukwento at ibinabahagi.
Yan, iboto po natin, Carlo
Yes.
Catu.
Okay.
Darating niya, election ngayong 2020.
May nanalo na po. Meron na pong first honor.
Meron na po ninalo.
Thank you so much for that, Carlo, for those very wonderful and very insightful explanation. I'm sure sobrang daming natututunan at napipick up ng mga nanonood sa atin ngayon. No? Direk Paolo, you have something to add po?
No, ang ganda lang nung sinabi ni Carlo na yung pagkatao ng filmmaker importante kasi ikaw yung nag-execute, mata mo yung pumipili, you're the one choosing how you're telling the story. So, and I know this is medyo motherhood statement siya pakinggan from students maybe, but siguro ang bottom line ni Carlo then is that the journey is important, and all throughout your journey be true to yourself. What influences you, what affects you, and you cannot be a good filmmaker if you're not honest with yourself talaga. It's being true to yourself. Kasi kung racket filmmaking lang madali, pero hindi siya masarap sa lipunan at sa kaluluwa.
Oo, tsaka dagdag ko na lang na tama din naman yung sinabi ni Catu na constant talaga siya, learning and unlearning, and your voice talaga is also your truth. Yun talaga siya. Parang at saka tama kasi ako nga nakilala ko lang yung sarili ko by third film na. So gumagawa ako nung first 2 films ko, hindi ko rin alam kung tama, kung boses ko ba siya or what. And until now nag-evolve pa rin naman siya. Pero kahit papaano meron ka ng certain spark na hinahawakan. Parang ganon. And hindi ko din siya na-discover alone. Kasi nakinig din ako dahil kanina nandun tayo sa mga critics and all, basa and all. Nakinig din ako dun sa mga taong nagsabi sa akin na, ay, ganito siya, ganito pala. Ang dami kong nadidiscover about me as a storyteller sa mga nababasa kong critic or pagpuna sa pelikula ko. Parang ganon. Ang laki niyang tulong bukod sa ako gusto ko ding nag-workshop kasi pag nagpapa-workshop ako na be-breakdown ko yung process ko na I don't usually do. Parang gano'n. So, ang laking bagay sa akin ng workshops kasi hindi lang ako nakapagturo pero sa iba natuturuan ko din yung sarili ko. Parang gano'n. So, constant learning talaga siya and finding your truth and your own voice. Parang gano'n.
Thanks, Direk Dwein. Direk Victor po.
Add ko lang kasi all this talk about, voice na even though film is seen like as a passive experience, when you make a film, nakikipag-usap ka sa tao eh. So even though hindi ka nag-film course, ang mahalaga ay ang discourse. Ayun. Comment nyo po para manalo po ng t-shirt ng Sinepanghalina na Pilit ka love you. Yun lang po.
Thanks, Direk Victor. Direk Rod.
Sundutan ko yung sinabi ni Carlo kasi before, mga team high grounds pre-pandemic, ayan, chika-chikahan kami nila Keep before, na parang madalas meron kang kwentong maiisip na naggawa na ni ganito or ginagawa na ni ganito. At ang lagi naming ay parang, ang aming pinagkasunduan ay parang hindi nila magagaya, pwedeng, hindi naman sinasabing ginaya, pero like kunyari, sabihin mo na una ako dito, tapos wala lang akong producer, tapos biglang may ganito na. So parang pampalubag loob na sinasabi sa sarili ay hindi naman niya makukwento yun kung paano ko ikukwento eh. And lagi naman ganun, parang for example, merong mga nagko-consult sa akin ng mga students before, parang mga teacher na mahilig kukuha ng filmmaker tapos may mga group activity na short, ganyan. Pagdating sa pitching nila ng story nila, kadalasan kung bakit sila nalolost sa gusto nilang mangyari sa kwento ay dahil hindi nila alam yung gusto nilang tono. Parang they have the milieu. For example, ang milieu niya ay, kunyari ang gusto niyang theme ay depression. Yun yung overarching arc ng kineme niya na depression yung kwento. So, ang question ko lagi ay, saan mo to dadalhin? Doon ba sa depression na palubog or yung depression na paangat? Like, yung depression ba eventually na naka-recover siya from it, so more on the hopeful tone, or gusto mo doon sa depression na pina-fight niya lang yung inner demons niya tas wala kang resolution. So doon kasi nagkakaiba. So parang pwedeng sa akin, iba yung treatment ko sa depression, iba rin kay Victor. Kasi iba yung tono na gusto niyang gawin. And I think yun din naman yung So parang for aspiring filmmakers, kung meron kayong kwento na nagawa na ni ganito or nagawa na ng ganyan, if you trust your voice or yung tono mo, alam mo na hindi siya kakapare-pareha. Kasi in the first place, kung kwento lang din naman, ilang kwento na ba ang naikwento tungkol sa magjowa na yung isa ay nag-abroad? No, from sana maulit muli to caregiver to never not love you, 'di ba? Parang hindi mo sasabing they're the same film, pero kapag pinitch mo yung kwento, parang ganito, parang ganyan. Well, sa ano lang, share ko lang, parang nung first time kong nagpipitch pa, kala ko wrong kapag sinasabi, parang ganito. Kasi di ba minsan nagkukwento ka pa lang yung kwento mo, minsan sabihin na yung producer na, parang ganito. So parang iniisip mo na, wrong ba yun kapag may kapareha? Pero eventually, may realize mo na nakakatulong siya to actually help you pitch sa mga producers kung i-go nila or not. Parang mas mahirap i-pitch yung mga kwento na hindi nila ma-imagine kung ano yung pinakamalapit na pelikulang napanood nila. So, ayun. So, tama sila na tono talaga or yung boses talaga yung magsaset apart sa'yo from other directors. Kaya, hindi siya competition, kaya wag kayong magtaka kung maraming director ang magtotropa. At bihira lang din naman yung mga magkakaaway din. So, ayun.
Name dropping.
Ay, wala akong alam.
Thank you, Direk Rod. Yeah, a good point din that you raised that sometimes it helps that there is a familiar ground then when pitching a film then. Kasi I think in a way there's still really no 100% unique film talaga. Laging as film exists, laging mayroong similarity. Yes, Direk Miguel po.
Gusto ko lang mag-chime in rin, lalo na about that parang concept of finding your voice. Ako, aminin ko, it has been very challenging for me. Ako kasi, the way I make films, it's something, usually yung subject matter, something that scares me, and then combine siya with something that inspires me or something I enjoy. Like, kunyari lang, I watch a good film, and gustong-gusto ko talaga i-try yung genre na yun. So parang yun yung nagiging, I guess, yung parang surface layer ng film ko. Habang yung subject matter or yung subtext, it's usually something that scares me, in my reality. Minsan, kaya most of my films parang siyang based on a real event or a news event, and then parang nako-combine yung dalawa. And while I'm doing that, parang I enjoy kasi the process. So I challenge myself by trying different techniques, trying different treatments. Kaya trinay ko mag-thriller, trinay ko mag-horror, trinay ko parang genre film talaga na parang pop genre film like zombies. And then parang later on, na-realize ko while parang people started talking about my films or parang reviewing it, minsan sila yung nakaka-notice ng pattern na subconscious na they notice na ever since I made my short films, my very first short film na experimental kay Direk Marilu Diaz-Abaya, yung Threshold, it's a simple short film na shoot ko lang sa living room ng grandparents ko na mga pinsan ko na nilagyan ko mga sako sa ulo. Parang may, di ba, very subliminal lang siya. And then yung mga next short films ko like Harang and Hazard, lagi siyang tungkol sa parang tao lang na gets into trouble with the authorities. Ganun. And then eventually na-notice ko nga yung pattern nila like with Recorder, na parang film pirate na biglang hinaharas siya ng police kasi kailangan yung tape sa loob ng camera niya as evidence kasi may nakunan siyang crime, or Birdshot na babae na mistakenly nakapatay ng Philippine Eagle na hindi siya aware na endangered kasi hinahabol ulit siya ng police. And eventually even Neo Manila and Erie may ganun na element. So na-notice nga nila na bakit laging likable criminal and corrupt cop, 'di ba? Bakit ganun lagi yung film, or bakit may parang moral ambiguity na ganun. And parang doon ko na-realize na minsan subconscious siya yung voice mo. So I guess yung point ko by saying this na it's okay na you're trying to discover yourself and finding yourself, and lalabas yun when you go through the process of filmmaking. It takes so long to make a film, from development to production hanggang edit, na you become your film, and that journey in making the film will bring your voice out without even you knowing it. As long as the fact na hindi ka nag-give up in the process. Kasi insincere ka, at any point dun, konting hirap lang, give up ka na financing, sa writing, na writer's block ka, give up ka na. But the fact na you finish it and you push towards the end up to sharing that idea, being vulnerable enough to share that parang idea or imagination mo with an audience, and then just taking the reaction in, parang through that journey, I think subconsciously lumalabas yun. So my point is siguro to film students na after hearing all this advice from a lot of diba, parang professionals and practicing filmmakers, parang wag kayo ma-intimidate doon na parang shit, kailangan ko i-checklist lahat to na parang na-discover ko na ba sarili ko or sobrang clear na ba yung parang perspective ko, diba, to do this. And minsan kasi with a lot of that parang advice na natatakot kayo to take that risk, natatakot kayo to make that first short film, di ba? Usually ang nagsa-stop sa a lot of aspiring filmmakers is parang gusto mo yung first short film mo sobrang ganda agad, or yung first short film mo, di ba, mag-festival agad, and parang dun nabablock ka na eh. And kailangan mo intindihin na, especially if you want to make this like sustainable, or you want to keep doing this, kailangan mo siya i-unlock eh. Parang you need to earn your next film, diba? You need to learn, experience points siya eh, bago ka mag-level up. So parang kung dun pa lang sa first short mo na pwedeng simple lang dahil na-enjoy mo gumawa zombie film with ketchup blood with your friends, dun pa lang pinipigilan mo na sarili mo, hindi ka gagawa eh. So parang I think that's where it starts, no? Yung sincerity of just wanting to tell that story, and minsan baka hindi mo ma-articulate, pero the fact na mayroon kang urge or parang itch na you have to scratch na you go out there and just shoot it, yun yung magde-develop sa'yo. So parang don't be too parang afraid or intimidated na, wait, I mean, that's okay, no? If you want to do that, it's never too late. You want to experience life muna, di ba? Magpakasal ka muna, then get divorced, and then go through war before you make your first film, okay lang yan. Pero at the same time, wag ka rin ma-intimidate to parang just go out there and parang discover filmmaking for yourself and enjoy the process. Kasi filmmaking is suffering. So you have to enjoy the suffering, suffer through it. I mean, yun naman point ng life. Find something worth suffering for.
Don't we all nga, Direk? Thank you po, Direk, for that, no? Direk Paolo? Yes po.
No, I was going to talk to tell Mick, kasi he started this his talk with his language. Actually, si Mick, nabanggit niya nga, he has a very, very strong thematic voice. All his films actually explore the vagaries of power. As in, pero yun nga, nabanggit na ni Mick na napansin nga rin yun na may ganun siyang boses. But apart from that, he has a very distinct eye din, no? So ang ganda nun kasi ang boses can be craft, the way you choose your shots. Let's say Wong Kar-wai, ganito siya mag-frame, or Wes Anderson. It can be thematic. It can be many, many things talaga. But yun nga, to end that part, it's really be true to yourself. And the journey is long, it's not instant. I think this generation belongs to the luckiest and unluckiest generation to be filmmakers. You're very lucky because you have all the opportunity. Cameras are cheaper. Everyone is aware of film language. Everyone can learn it. You have Avenue Cinema, Netflix, YouTube. At the same time, the pressure is stronger because everyone else wants to tell their stories then. So the competition is mas malaki. I don't know if that makes sense, but ang ganda lang na may democratization of cinema, that anyone can actually tell their stories. Of course, there's danger. I mean, we see the side of the revisionist historians ngayon using cinema then and YouTube to tell their own stories. You have to be able to distinguish lang between bad and good talaga. And then there's no room for wrong messaging. Ang ganda ng point ni Rod kanina, he talks about messaging so much. Ang laki kasing responsibilidad ng storyteller eh, yung kung ano yung mensaheng sinasabi mo. And I mean, 2016 was a result of bad storytelling for the whole country. And then look at us now, we're in a really, really bad place.
Thanks, Direk. Very well said. I do agree on that. Yes, Direk po, Mikhail.
Yun, gusto ko lang parang i-mention rin, no? Tama sabi ni Direk Paolo, no? Like, sobrang swerte ng new generation of filmmakers. Sobrang accessible na ng technology. Ang dami ng workshops. basically information is free na, no? Pwede mo tingin ka lang sa YouTube, you can learn about basic craft and do your own film. And yung challenge nga rin is even taste, no? Kasi dati, di ba, they always say na yung talent mo is your taste as a filmmaker. And ngayon, even taste parang sobrang democratized na rin kasi everyone knows what a good film is. Na parang it's so easy na i-search mo lang agad ano yung Condor winner this year and then everyone has seen it, di ba? Parang dati, di ba, you have to search for that film. Not everyone gets the opportunity. Minsan kailangan mong makapasok sa film festival and get a badge and watch all those films. Ngayon, parang everyone can recognize what a good film is or what a bad film is, what a perfect film is. So parang nakaka-intimidate, I'm sure. Kaya siguro may ganun na barrier, no, before making your first film. So siguro yung trick lang also siguro related dun sa finding your voice is instead of parang asking yourself parang what do these other filmmakers have that I don't, parang just look into your own life siguro and parang maging self-aware ka rin, like what do you have that they don't know, ano yung unique dun sa upbringing mo, environment mo, interests mo that you can parang put on the table kasi nga like they said everything is a remix na lahat nagawa na, so yun parang kailangan mo rin isipin yung fusion, no? Kaya like I said parang ako usually yun na notice ko, it's things that inspire me, things that I want to try out and also things na subconsciously mga fears ko, di ba? And then minsan you just collect these fragments or a character na you think of or mo and then i-incubate mo lang and then one day all of these things parang snap together and then yun yung light bulb moment mo na parang hey, I have a film. So combination lang yan, just keep watching films and keep keep those ideas and fragments and eventually mafe-feel mo parang magki-click na lang siya. Yun, kailangan mo lang talaga siya i-pursue. Yun yung journey, yung process. So parang doon sa part na yun, dapat doon ka relentless and wag give up.
Thank you so much, Direk Mikhail. All right. And to move on to our next question on this one, this is for Direk Carlo. How did you get into the field of filmmaking, sir? And what would be your advice to those who want to enter the industry as well?
Thank you for that wonderful question. Miss Universe pala. Well, I think lagi ko naman na-share na nagsimula, hindi din ako film student, HRM graduate ako sa Whole Angel University sa Pampanga. Tapos, noong mga panahon na yon, working student ako. So, literal na naglilinis ako ng classroom for me to finance yung pag-aaral ko. Pero secretly, ang gusto ko talaga is maging artista noong mga panahon na yon. Ewan ko ba bakit. Pero gusto ko talaga mag-artista. Pero noong mga panahon na yun, sikat yung Starstruck. Tapos may isa pa sa channel, yung Star for All.
Star Circle?
Star Circle. Di ba puro pagwapuhan, pagandahan. Siyempre wala naman tayong laban doon. So nung lumabas yung PBB, yun talaga yung pangarap ko. Gusto ko po talaga pumasok sa Pinoy Big Brother House kasi personality yung labanan doon, di ba? So yun yung pinaka pinagtungtungan. Tapos itong maliit ko na secret dream na hindi ko nga mailabas sa bibig ko kasi parang ang funny, isang mahirap na probinsyano, alam mo yun, parang mag-artista, totoo ka ba? Parang ganun. So parang hindi siya feeling ko available sa akin. Pero nagkaroon ng isang open audition for theater outside school. So professional theater, Academy of Performing Arts, si Bicong Del Rosario. Kasi I think Miss Saigon, Germany. Umuwi siya sa Pampanga kasi Kapampangan siya. Tapos magpupush siya ng isang theater show. So nag-audition ako, to make the long story short, second year college, nag-stop ako mag-aral para i-pursue yung theater career ko. Wow. Feeling ko magiging Lea Salonga na ako. Parang ito na to kumapit ka. Parang ganyan. This is it. Ganyan. After 2 years, hindi naman ako yumaman, hindi rin ako sumikat. Pero I think yun yung unang pagkakataon na nabigyan ko yung sarili ko na maniwala sa kakayahan ko bilang isang artist, bilang isang theater actor. Tapos nakakatuwa, 'di ba, from HRM na mundo, biglang ang daming mga artists na kasama mo dito. Tapos nagkaroon ng Sine Kapampangan Film Festival, short film competition 'yun. So akala ko noon dati, ang paggawa ng pelikula ay tungkol lamang sa pag-arte. na kapag marunong kang umarte, marunong kang gumawa ng pelikula. So kami ng mga mayayabang kong theater friends, parang, uy, sali tayo dyan, ganyan. O sino magpo-produce? O yung pinakamayaman, di ba usually lagi kami pinakamayamang kaibigan. O sino yung magbibida? O yung pinakamaganda, syempre yung pinakamaganda. O sinong bida lalaki? O yung pinakagwapo. O sino yung writer, yung walang mukha? Eh ako yun, syempre. So ako na lang yung writer, likod ng camera, ako din yung director. So I think beginner's luck, nanalo ng sa second ako best film kay Petersen. Noong mga panahon na yon, sikat na si Petersen sa Pampanga. So parang yung mga tao pupunta doon kasi may Petersen Vargas. Tapos biglang, ay, sino tong Carlo Catu? Parang ganon. Tapos yun, sumali ulit ako. Next year, nagpanggap naman ako doon kasi ang nangyari, yung kwento ng short film ko na yun, Lakbe, sinut ko lang sa kwarto. Parang, ba't pag dito naging Kapampangan language, Kapampangan film pa ba siya? So bigla parang, gusto ko lang naman makuha yung cash prize but may mga ganitong katanungan na. So hinanap ko na unti-unti yung katauhan ko bilang isang Kapampangan filmmaker. So nagpanggap ako sa second short film ko. Maganda tong kwento. Second short film ko na to, umakyat ako ng bundok arayat, mga guys, umakyat ako ng bundok arayat na parang tangina pag hindi pa to Kapampangan film, ewan ko na lang, ganyan. Eto tingnan hindi naman ako taga-Arayat. Alam mo 'yun? Kasi parang hello, Arayat, Kapampangan. Alam mo 'yun? So parang nakakatawa pa to. Pumunta pa ako sa barangay, kasama ko yung best friend ko si Lia. Tatok kami sa barangay hall. Nasaan po yung bundok ng Arayat? Ba't hindi namin siya nakikita? Kapag pala malapit ka na sa bundok Arayat, hindi mo siya makikita talaga sis kasi malapit ka nga sa bundok Arayat 'di ba? Kasi pag bala yung bundok malapit ka, hindi mo siya makikita as yung parang bundok. So, ang lesson doon parang oh my God, sa kakapakinig ko sa paligid ko na kailangan ko hanapin yung boses ko, kailangan ganito yung regional filmmaker, dapat ganito yung kinukwento namin. Bigla, mas lalo ako lumayo doon sa katotohanan ko. And I think I was able to find that little step papunta dun sa paghanap ko ng boses nung ginawa ko yung third short film ko, which is Miss Daka. It's a very, very intimate short film about my best friend na pwede pala natin ma-miss yung mga taong mahal natin sa buhay kahit nakasama natin sila sa loob ng bahay. Just because may mga bagay na nagsiseparate na sa atin, yung so near yet so far. Available yan kung saan-saan i-search nyo lang. Pero I think isa yun sa mga paborito kong short film, not because gawa ko siya, pero feeling ko na-capture ko yung parang, uy, pwede pala akong gumawa ng pelikula na I'm just being true to myself. Tapos nagtatouch siya ng heartstring ng mga taong nakakapanood. And because of that third short film, yun yung naging ticket ko sa Ari My Life with the King. Pinatawag na ako ng Vice President ng Holy Angel University. Imagine guys, working student ako nasa laylayan po tayo, 'di ba? Taga-walis ng classroom. Biglang papatawag ka ng Vice President ng Holy Angel University kasi nabalitaan daw nila na yung short film ko is nagme-make ng pangalan. I think nakalaban ko din si Martika. Imagine, magiging kaibigan ko sa later on. Sa Miss Daka, runner up naman ako kay Martika sa Maynila. Basta ganoon, kami mga probinsyano, kapag dumala na sa Maynila yung pelikula mo, guys, ano yun? Big thing yun. Parang, teka, sino yan? Sino yung estudyante natin na yan? Tapos inoperan nila ako na, magkano ba yung short film? Ganyan. Mami, wala naman kaming budget doon. So parang kamay sa ilalim ng baba. Magkano kaya yung pera? So inisip ko 15,000. Kaso sabi ko doblein ko kaya 30,000, ganyan. 30,000 for a short film. Tapos natawa sila, parang sabi nila, okay, gawan mo kami ng short film, Center for Kapampangan Studies. Ang bayad namin sa'yo, ifa-fund namin yung next mo na short film, 30,000. So ang dating, parang babayaran nila ang 30,000. So parang carry na yon, push na yon. Tapos dumating si Sir Ferdinand Lapus na isang kilalang producer na nagpapadala ng pelikulang Pilipino sa ibang bansa. Sabi niya, ready na si Carlo mag full length. Walang mararating yung short film, ganyan. Kunin niyo si Aldra Brendica, ganyan. Soprado, ganyan na sila. To make the long story short, dumating na si Carlo Mendoza. Suddenly, may mga totoong tao na gumagawa ng pelikula kasama ko sa team. Nasa bahay na ako ni Coco Martin. Imagine nyo yan, guys. Nasa bahay na ako ni Coco Martin, nililigawan na namin yung kapatid niya. So somehow parang kami din yung nag-introduce kay Ron Waldo Martin. Ginawa namin yung Ari My Life with the King na MMA lang. Yun nga din, parang kagaya din na hinahanap ko lang din yung boses ko. mas yun naman is, kasi yung writer ko sa Sir Robin na medyo malayo yung edad sa akin. So parang mini-mirror ko lang yung kung paano ang dami kong natututunan kay Sir Robbie, which is my writer and producer, nakapareho nung kwento nung Ari My Life with the King, na isang bata na natututo, na maraming natututunan about Kapampangan, culture, literature, blah, blah, blah. So parang mini-mirror ko lang yun. Tapos yun nga yung sinasabi ko, pinanghahawakan ko lang yung truth ko. I think ang sabi ni Peterson noon, kasi takot na takot ako mag-shoot kasi parang may chika na, kaya mo ba makatrabaho si Carlo Mendoza? Carlo Mendoza na yan. Kapag yan sinabi niya na ito yung shot, anong say mo? Parang ganyan. So tawag ako parang close kami ni Peterson noon. Tapos sabi niya, alam mo Pards, ang isipin mo lang, yun na, fake it till you make it. Dapat parang iparamdam mo na alam mo kahit hindi mo alam. Kasi ikaw yung leader ng team eh. So yun, parang in-embrace ko lang yun and blah, 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 blah. Yung first award namin, nanalo kami sa New York, Best World Film. Tapos blah, 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 blah. Mami, nakapag-abroad ako dahil dyan sa pelikula na yan. Mahirap kaming pamilya. Ako yung unang nakasakay ng eroplano sa pamilya namin. So ganong level. So parang it's a big thing. Tapos yun, pagdating dito, since may award na tayo sa ibang bansa, mami, nanalo-nalo na rin dito sa Pilipinas. Charot. So napansin na kami ng MMFF, Gawa Durian, FAMAS, Star Kine. Basta ang dami, lagi ako nakabarong, ganyan. So parang nag-iba na yung feeling ko, nag-iba na yung buhay ko, pero hindi pa rin ako yumayaman. Pero the next year after, nagkaroon ako ng feeling ko, yun, kagaya kay Ida, na naswertihan lang ba ako? Filmmaker ba ako? Naswertihan lang ba ako? Ganyan. So may bigla kang magkakaroon ng doubt na ganyan na parang, kasi kasama ko si Carlo Mendoza talagang maganda yung pelikula. Kasama ko yung kapatid ni Coco Martin. Talagang alam mo yun. And then nagka-doubt ka sa sarili mo. The year after that, dinedicate ko sa paghahanap ng mga workshops na pwede kong itap. Since medyo gumanda-ganda na yung resume ko, I was able to tap Fly. Programa siya ng Korea na nagkukuha siya ng mga Southeast Asian. So nakapag-aral ako ng short course sa Cambodia, napili din ako sa Japan, umabot ng Brunei, umabot ng Singapore, kung saan ako napunta. Tapos pag-uwi ko na parang medyo slightly confident na ako, ginawa ko na yung Dapit Hapon. So nanalo yun ng Cinemalaya, nakilala na ako ni Sir Deo, pinatawag din niya. Ang uso yung patawag, no? Pinatawag din niya ako sa bahay niya. So ginawa na namin yung My Single Lady sa Iwan. Ganyan, nagtuloy-tuloy na yung career ko. So parang I think ang gusto ko lang sabihin is, hindi mo mapaplano ang buhay mo. Feeling ko gano'n. At the end of the day, hindi mo mapaplano ang buhay mo. Feeling ko, you really enjoy the moment. Commit to excellence. And yung 3 age ko. Wow, may 3 age. Honesty, humility, and hard work. Kung ano-ano pa yan, parang hindi ka masyadong matalino, carry lang yan. Pwede ka magbasa ng libro. Hindi ka masyadong, alam mo yun, parang at the end of the day, ano yung meron ka ngayon, ano yung pwede nating gawin ngayon. And yun, enjoy mo lang. Kasi ako din talaga, I never thought na magiging filmmaker ako. Never. Pero nakakatuwa, recently lang, nagpa-dentist ako kasi dentist na yung dati kong mga classmate. Nasabi nila, alam mo, kahit noon pa, alam namin na magiging director ka or artista, para ganyan. Kasi daw pala, ako daw yung lagi nagle-leader sa mga No Limitangire, ganyan. So parang, nakikita ng iba. Pero yun, wag nyong i-achieve yun na makita mo, para manghuhula ka, makikita mo ano yung ikaw, maging totoo ka lang muna sa sarili mo. And I think yun yung pinakaunang first step. Maging totoo ka sa sarili mo. And I thank you.
Ayun. Thank you and welcome to the Carlos TED Talk, no?
Ang una daw pinatawag si Peterson.
Sobrang inspirational po nun, no? At saka, so, ang takeaway ko doon, so kailangan mong umakit ng Mount Arayat talaga para magkaroon ng realizations. Thank you. I'm sure this inspired a lot of our aspiring filmmakers na nanonood ngayon currently. Thank you so much, Direk Carlo, for that very wonderful and inspirational anecdote. So, ayan. Well, for that one, it seems that our official partners have also prepared questions for our wonderful directors here. May we call on the representative for Bulsu Cinephilia. May we have Mark Christian Lauron.
Gandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Nakaka-overwhelm po yung mga insight na nakuha ko sa discussion ng mga directors. Ngayon pa yung tanong po para po kay Direk Dwein. Good evening po, Direk Dwein. Tanong po kasing basahin itong screenplay ng Excess Baggage para ma-expose pa ako sa pagsusulat ng script as an aspiring writer po. And since kayo po ang writer, kaya sa inyo ko po ito, ninais itanong. Ito po yung tanong ko. Ni-utilize niyo po ba ang paggamit ng body language sa pagsusulat ng mga sequence? If yes, any tips for us aspiring writers na magamit ito effectively?
You mean, sorry, ang question kung ni-utilize ko sa pagsusulat ng script, ang body language?
Yes po.
Kung particularly sa excess baggage, parang I knew na writer lang ako at hindi ako yung magde-direct. Kung minsan kung paano mo sila iba-block, kung paano sila together, hindi ko na siya isusulat sa description para may laya yung director ko na gawin kung ano yung na-visualize niya doon sa eksena. Parang ganoon. Kasi ako pag alam ko na writer lang, again quote and quote, writer lang ako, ayokong nagtutunog direktor, ayokong sinasabi kung anong shot yung gagamitin sa script. I can do that pero never kong isusulat na close up shot dito. Pwede ko siyang gawin very light na i-replace ko siya at gagamitin ko siya kung tingin ko crucial sa pag-tell ng story, yung shot na as a writer, feeling ko gagana. Kaya ko siya sasabihin sa script or ididikta sa director. But you never, pag writer ka, kailangan mabalanse mo kung hanggang saan ka lang talaga at kailangan may laya yung katrabaho mong director para mapaglaruan yung script na ginawa mo, parang ganun. And it becomes a totally different story when ako yung writer at ako din yung director. Kasi kapag ako yung writer and director, sa script pa lang, sobrang detalyado na ako. Pati music, kung paano yung transition, kung paano yung lahat, nilalagay ko siya. Kasi guide ko na siya for myself as a director. So doon, hindi ako nag-hold back as a writer. Parang lahat ng technicalities, sinasabi ko na doon ng madalian, even how, kung paano ko i-frame yung eksena, kung paano ko siya na-visualize, latag ko na lahat doon. And kung isa sa mga proseso ko din in writing a story, kung minsan parang hindi ko alam kung paano siya mas may explain ng mas maganda. Pero kung minsan parang tinitingnan ko siya or kailangan pag nilalatag ko yung storya, para siyang kanta for me. Parang ano yung intro, saan magko-chorus, saan yung refrain, para siyang ganun, para siyang song for me, para mas maging fluid yung writing ko ng script. Tas kung minsan lagi siyang nakaangkla sa isang kanta, lagi ako may binabalikan na ganun. Tapos ganun ko siya kung minsan naiisulat yung script. Ayun siya. Sana nasagot. Nasagot ba?
Opo, salamat po. Ang laking tulong po. Yung, lalo na po sa insight, yung tungkol sa yung pagiging kanta ng parang pagsuot ng kwento. Thank you po.
All right. Thank you, Direk Dwein, and thank you, Mark Christian, for that wonderful question. Next would be from Eugenio Lopez Jr. Center for Media Arts, Senior High School. We have Zyron Kiel Cerezo.
Opo. This question is for Direk Ida po. Since nabanggit niyo po kanina yung about pag-attend niyo po sa film school. And ayun, may nagsabi po kasing director dati na wag na mag-film school kasi sasabi niya tuturuan ka lang daw maging magaling sa mata ng ilan. And even though na alam mo, it's up to someone kung mag-film school siya, how necessary is film school and how can it help me in the industry knowing na yung mga sumisikat at patok na sa masa ngayon ay yung mga direktor at manunulat na hindi nakapagtapos ng pag-aaral o malayo ang kurso sa industriya ng pagpepelikula at natuto lang sa lipunan.
Thank you for your question. Well, nagtuturo ako ngayon sa film school, so hindi ko pwedeng sabihin, huwag kayong mag-film school. Wala lang trabaho. Pero, so yun nga, yung background ko is from both no film school, tapos gumawa ng pelikula, tapos ngayon pa lang ako nag-film school. Sa experience ko, I think yung mga hindi nag-film school, iba yung perspective. Yung parang iba yung approach mo dun sa film. So, yung magiging result is very different from the usual, which is good. Lalo na pag indie film, pag iba yung approach, mas fresh, magugustuhan din yun ng ilan, ng ibang audience. Pero pag kunwari mainstream ang ina-expect ng mga tao, tapos iba yung approach, parang iba din yung dating sa audience. Sa palagay ko, ang mas kailangan kesa film school is magkaroon ka ng as many experiences as possible. Yung dad ko, teacher din siya, filmmaker din siya. Yung advice niya sa akin nung nagpumili ako ng course sa college, wag ako mag-film. Kasi sabi niya, dapat may iba kang mga alam. So, nag-literature ako. So, parang connected pa rin. Storytelling, yung mga being creative writing, creative thinking, na kailangan mo din for film. Or yung iba, sobrang layo nung course nila sa college, but they use their experiences pag ginawa nila yung pelikula. So, yun, I think the best way na maging good filmmaker, manood ng mga pelikula, matuto sa mga both good and bad films, magbasa, be inspired by art, be inspired by the stories around you, maging bukas sa mga stories na nasa paligid mo. And then, later on, pwede ka mag-film para maintindihan mo talaga yung mga technical side. Kasi yun yung kulang sa akin na napansin ko through filmmaking. Ako, since wala akong film school background, I depend a lot on my team. Na collaborative naman talaga yung film. So you will have to trust your team, depend on them for their strengths. So ako very dependent ako sa DOP ko, sa AD ko, kasi sila yung may alam ng technicals. And I just have to make sure na alam nila yung vision ko and they will support it. So ngayon, sa pag-aaral ko naman ng film, mas bumubukas yung isip ko sa ano yung possibilities na pwede kong gawin sa set. Possibilities na pwedeng gawin ng isang cinematographer, for example. And that widens my vision. So just keep on learning. Mag-film school ka man early on or concentrate ka on different things and then take film later on or mag-aral ka ng film through different workshops. The point is to keep on learning and the point is na maging bukas ang isip sa lahat ng experiences and you'll be able to use that in your filmmaking.
Thank you po.
Thank you so much, Direk Ida. All right. And last but not the least, we have a representative from Gulaman Entertainment. May we call on Roman Jericho Badiable, please? Thank you.
Hello, good evening po mga directors. This question po is for Direk Carlo Catu. Ngayong pandemic po, lalo na po at nawala ang ABS-CBN sa free television, nagsilabasan po or umusbong ang mga digital platforms where people or viewers can watch a lot of films and series po. And ayun, sa tingin nyo po ba, ito na ang future ng mga palabas? And sa tingin nyo rin po ba is, makaka-compete pa po kaya ang television sa streaming platform?
Thank you po. Natigilan ako kasi medyo mahirap yung tanong. Well, thank you sa question. Ang tingin, totoo yun. Nakakalungkot na I think this pandemic really pushed us na mas dito sa mga laptop, sa cellphone natin tayo manonood, sa mga streaming, ganyan. Isa rin siya sa tanong ko actually, na parang makakabalik pa ba kaya tayo sa sinehan? Especially para sa bansa natin na nag-open. Ayan, parang may sagot si Paolo. Pero yun, try ko muna. So parang ako, ang tingin ko, matagal pa tayong makakabalik sa sinihan. Feeling ko lang. So I think kami din dito sa mga director na kasama ko dito, one way or another, yun, gumagawa tayo ng series, digital series, ganito, ganyan. Pero ako, iba pa rin para sa akin yung sinihan. Kasi I think, yung experience sa panonood sa loob ng sinihan na wala kang ibang ginagawa. Actually, naging dilemma ko din yan habang ginagawa ko yung mga ibang digital series. na project ko ngayon. Kasi parang lagi, ang dami mong kalaban. Di ba, Dwein? Yan, si Dwein nagteleserye siya. Natutuwa pala yun. Kasi sa TV, di ba, dati parang lagi natin tinatanong, ba't ganun? Ang dami nilang ine-explain sa dialogue. Kasi nga, ang mga nanonood, naglalaba, si Aling Bebang or kung sino man yung mga, di ba? So lagi kang may ganun. Ngayon, habang nasa FX, pinapanood yung ano mo. So parang medyo iniisip mo din na iba yung form, iba yung kung paano nila pinapanood. So ibang-iba din kapag gagawa tayo dun sa sinihan. Pero going back to your question, ako feeling ko iba na lang yung I nominate Paolo to answer the to answer the question. Sorry, pero hindi ko din kasi alam. Pero parang nag-open naman na yung ibang bansa. Pero parang dito, Mami, parang negative pa sa kung paano nila i-handle yung pandemic and everything. So, yung baka yung mga kasama kong director, guys, tingin nyo daw.
If I may, isagutin ko lang, Direk Carlo. Very general, no? Kasi mahirap sa akin. Galing ako sa alternative cinema. Hindi ako actually mainstream director. Hindi rin ako, the general definition of indie. Galing ako sa alternative cinema talaga. So hindi kami masyadong pabor sa mainstream business model. Kasi hindi naman business ang habol namin, to be honest. But I am aware of how things are happening. Here's the thing. The way we watch cinema, yung sa sinihan, posibleng mamatay, posibleng magbago. Pero ito hindi pwedeng mawala as human beings. Hard-coded sa ating, as human beings, to camp together and enjoy and experience a particular story together. Hindi mawawala yon. Gets ko, during pandemic, bawal lumabas, we watch individually. Pero kahit pansinin nyo in public, may probinsyano na TV sa labas, lahat ng tao magkukumpulan. Or kahit hindi TV, may chismis si Aling Bebang, lahat tayo nandoon. Okay, it is hardwired sa atin to be social and to experience something at the same time. We will never forget the feeling of namatay si Thanos sa sinihan. Lahat tayo pare-pareho natin na experience yon. To put it in a mainstream point, no? Or first time na in love sa Before Sunrise. Alam mo yon? And then, hindi mawawala yon. So, hindi mamamatay ang paggawa ng pelikula. Hindi mamamatay ang pagdood ng pelikula. Magbabago ang format. Pero, believe me, magkukumpulan pa rin tayo in the future para lang ma-experience ang same heartache, same pain, same joy. Sa election pa lang, kailangan natin magkumpulan to feel a new hope. So, hindi mawawala sa katauhan natin yon. So, cinema will never die. Yun lang.
Long live Philippine cinema, tama. Thank you so much, Direk Paolo, for chiming in on that. Thank you as well, Direk Carlo. All right. So,
pwede mag-add lang, sorry.
Ay, go po.
Yeah, ano lang, parang based on experience kasi honestly, like, ang challenging ngayon kasi right now, meron rin kaming film na tinatry i-distribute. No? May mga na-shoot, dati kasi may mga na-shoot pa right before the pandemic, tapos naipon lahat ng content na yun, and then nung nagsara yung mga cinemas, parang we don't know what to do with those films. In fact, kami, parang in the middle kami of a series, tapos nagka-pandemic, so nag-stop kami halfway. So ang hirap, di ba? Parang what happens pag ganun. So parang gusto ko lang explain from our perspective, no? Parang wala nang masyadong options, honestly. Parang yung goal ko kasi ever since, starting from grants na local, na aminin natin, very restrictive nga, and syempre you want to do things properly, you want to pay people right, you want proper working hours. There's always that challenge of how do we get more funding and how do we justify the budget, di ba? Parang anong klaseng distribution ang kailangan natin. So we relied on dati with a more mainstream film, you will rely on cinemas and then VOD after. Pero ngayon na nawala na yung cinemas, mas challenging lalo kasi try to imagine, no, dumami na yung nawala yung cinemas, kumonti yung shooting days kasi mas tipid na yung budget dahil mas risk-averse na yung mga studio dahil walang cinemas. And then kumonti pa yung work hours kasi, COVID protocol, 12 hours na lang kami mag-shoot. So imagine mo yun na parang, especially if you're doing like a genre film na maraming departments involved, no? Di ba, may stunts, may gunfire, may huge sets, tapos biglang 12 hours na lang, tapos hatiin pa natin yung shooting days kasi wala ng budget. Tapos wala ka pang cinemas. So parang paano mo i-recruit yun? Ever since yun yung challenge sa atin na we just want to make this sustainable para, di ba, gawa tayo ng gawa. Wala tayong parang big enough paying middle class to parang justify those budgets. Very high risk, high reward dati na parang gagawa isang studio ng 10 films tas 2 films dun yung lalampas ng 100M, the rest baka mag-flop. So parang casino dati. I mean, imagine mo syempre average Filipino na luxury, syempre manood ng movie. So let's say manonood silang 3 movie sa isang taon. Syempre ano na yun, Pixar, isang Marvel, tas Star Wars, di ba? Parang paano ka papasok sa top 3 nila? So pumasok yung streaming. At first, para siyang, di ba, hope na, bagong method to na pwede natin parang i-utilize na straight to streaming. So parang isipin mo na lang, ito yung budget natin, tapos ibenta natin sa streaming, may konting buffer. Okay na tayo, we won't have to worry about yung mga first day, last day sa cinemas. We won't have to worry kung wala tayong network, di ba, to promote our film sa free TV and ads, di ba? Pero ngayon, even streaming, honestly, ang challenging na kasi ang daming lumabas na streaming options. In fact, ang daming papasok next year na besides Netflix. Ang dami nang magiging mas aggressive sa Southeast Asia. So even that, ang hirap, ang competitive na rin. Parang if you look at it, di ba, yung malakas ngayon actually Viva Max kasi may nahanap silang formula na parang to maintain this subscription base, ganito lang yung budget. Parang nahanap nila ano yung ceiling and it works, na sustainable yung ganun. Pero syempre as filmmakers, di ba, we wanna do more than that. Hindi naman pwedeng X number of days lang. Paano kung meron tayong story na mas ambitious? So I guess yun yung challenge. Wala akong exact solution. Siguro nakakatulong yung mga international co-production grants na nilalabas ngayon. Parang ini-encourage tayo na mag-partner up with more than one country para at least may leverage, 'di ba? Parang ipon muna tayong grants para makagawa ng mas ambitious film. Pero again, yung con naman doon, it takes years, 'di ba? Kung dadaan ka sa grant cycle. So parang ngayon, siguro yung pinaka-thriving is baka TV kasi syempre yung sustained naman yung revenue ng ads, 'di ba? To produce that material. So ang daming nagti-TV work or series. Iba na rin yung viewing habits, 'di ba? Dahil wala nang ever since naman parang novelty yung cinemas, 'di ba? Ngayon na commoditize na yung film, 'di ba? Everyone can make a film, everyone can upload on YouTube tapos nasa billion pockets na siya all over the world, 'di ba? Accessible. Ang dami mong kalaban, hindi na siya kalaban na competition na other films or Hollywood. Ngayon competition na siya ng attention. Kalaban mo TikTok, yung biggest competitor ng Netflix. Hindi Amazon, biggest competitor nila is Fortnite, no? Yung video game. Kaya doon na nila nire-release yung mga trailer, doon na nagko-concert si Travis Scott. So imagine mo yung challenge namin na ang frustrating rin na parang syempre we wanna do things properly, di ba? Hindi mo pwede basta-basta author, lalo na kung genre film kasi nagre-rely ka sa skill set rin ng ibang departments na may sarili rin silang craft na gusto nila pagandahin and ayaw mo naman i-abuse. So parang yun yung challenge. Parang how do we parang justify a proper realistic budget without abusing yung film workers and still make it sustainable for our investors para ma-develop yung industry. Well, we can look to our neighbors, diba? Indonesia ang lakas ngayon kasi may nahanap silang niche with their martial arts and action and kinukuha sila ng Netflix for originals. Tuloy-tuloy sila doon. Diba? Starting with The Raid. Ngayon malakas, syempre Netflix in Korea, diba? Asian cinema through Korea, lakas. So maybe we can learn from that. Pero again, ang hirap to parang find a brand rin for our country na ma-notice ng international market. Again, there's nothing I'm not saying na yun lang yung goal, na kailangan international market or broad audience para ma-sustain tong industry. Siyempre, gusto rin natin gumawa ng very local stories for our local audience. Pero I guess yun yung challenge. Right now nga, like I said, TV yung pinaka-sustainable and it has been working naman ever since. I mean, yung mga longest running shows natin, diba, all local content. Pero yun, we need to think about that siguro. Parang how do we get over that ceiling? Diba? How do we breach that to make bigger productions and really parang push what a Filipino film can be. So parang right now, siguro yun na yung pinaka-logical at the moment. Parang co-production or straight to streaming. I mean, diba yung on the job niya ni Direk Eric, parang binili ng HBO pero hindi yun commissioned work, diba? Parang sumugal sila to make that and then tried to sell it after and then buti na lang I think kinuha ng HBO kasi nag-Venice, diba? Buti nakakatulong yun, may recognition. So parang that's something to think about when if you're going into film, lalo na if may mga pangarap ka na gumawa ng genre films or bigger films or introduce new genres sa local cinema, parang that's something that you should always consider, yung parang distribution plan. Kasi at the end of the day, yun ang gusto natin as storytellers, diba? To reach our audience and to make another film. Diba? Yung best prize mo for making a film is the green light for your next one. Right? So yun. So right now, siguro that's something we have to anticipate. Papasok yung mga major streamers next year and we'll see how that works out for our local cinema.
All right. Thank you so much, Direk Mick, for naka-mic na rin nun. Direk Mikhail for that answer and for providing and also again shedding some light on, of course, the current status then of streaming in our country. Thank you, Roman, for that question. Thank you for our official partners for those very, very insightful questions for our wonderful directors here. Now, before we end this roundtable discussion, of course, we'd like to ask, what are your current projects, guys, and upcoming movies or films that you want to promote for our viewers to be informed? Let's start with Direk Victor.
Well, I have a movie in nasa editing ngayon. Wala pa kaming title, so hopefully i-announce na namin soon. And aside from that, wala akong ginagawa. So, ayun, follow nyo na lang ako sa Instagram at xgangleader. And I'm trying to shift din mostly to advertising as of now. Siguro from time to time magpelikula, I might have a series soon, but with what's happening, parang hindi sure kung kailan to i-shoot. So, patas abante. So, ayun. So, yun, siguro plug ko na lang yung gaming page ko na Xgang Leader Games sa Facebook and sa Twitch, Xgang Leaders. So I'm trying to carve a name for myself sa gaming scene and ayun, yun, pa-follow na lang doon. Salamat, Char.
Thanks, Direk. All right, how about Direk Ida?
Ganun din, maraming mga projects na dapat lalabas na or dapat matutuloy yung production pero natigil muna ngayon. So hopefully by next year, may mga series na lalabas tsaka film as well. Abangan na lang. Dali na abangan ko rin. Hindi ko rin alam.
Okay. Thank you so much, Direk. How about for you po, Direk Carlo?
Ayun, ako din, ganun, nag-aabang din. So near yet so far. Dapat mag-shoot kami ngayon buwan. Dapat nasa Baguio ako. May shoot ako for Signal, produced by Epic Media. Kaso na-move kasi nag-GCQ. So hopefully ma-shoot namin yun ng November. Excited ako doon. Title niya is My Delivery Girl. Ang dami ko nga natutunan din kay Rod kasi bida namin doon is drag queen. So,
wow.
Ang dami kong mga napulot din sa conversations na to. Tapos I think may gagawin din ako dapat for I Want, baka early next year na yon. And excited ako. Hopefully next year matuloy na talaga yung Purple Sun na may bago kaming title which is Hold My Gaze. Matagal na namin niluluto yun. Kapatid yun ni Oda Sawala. Kumakapatid. Kapatid yun ni Oda Sawala sa Ricky Lee Workshop. So sobrang excited namin doon. Abangan natin. Pero yun, you can also follow me sa shameless plug na din. Para dumagdag yung followers sa Instagram, Carlo Catu. Tapos meron din ako Facebook page. And ngayon, tinatrabaho ko din yung sarili kong film production na Yatu Film Production. You can always search it on Facebook para sa mga updates na kung ano man yung mga ginagawa ko. By the way, as of the moment, naghahanap ako ng apprentice pero may napili na. So, ayun. Yun lang. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Direk. All right, let's follow his account. All right, how about Dwein?
Ay ako, ongoing yung teleserye ko ngayon. Ano ba title? Marry Me, Marry You. Ano siya? Dreams in SCBN. So, merong Kapamilya Live sa YouTube at ano din siya, ongoing sa TV5 at marami pang iba. Tapos, by next year, may fifth film under Black Sheep, ganyan, and another serye. So, yon. And then, follow nyo din ako sa Instagram kasi, naghahanap ako ng maraming followers. Kasi yun talaga yung gusto ko sa buhay. Para mapadalhan ako ng mga free stuff din.
Yeah.
So, yun. At Dweiny, pakihanap, pakifollow. Ayun po.
All right. For our sponsors out there, no? Baka gusto nyo lang.
Hoy, kung may padalahan na ganyan, yun din po yung pangarap ko sa buhay. So, baka naman time.
Hashtag free stuff. Thank you. Thank you so much for Direk Dwein. How about for you po, Direk Paolo?
Hello, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes po.
Okay, yan, sorry. Weirdly plug commercials eh. Kasi puro commercials, bread and butter ko lately. I'm currently in post-production din sa ginawang musical yung trabaho ni Ricky Lee na Himala, dinirect ni Ed Lacson. I shot the last play the last time it was played, and we're editing it now. So we're hoping to release that soon, and then we're actually, I don't know if I can say this, but we're doing something for Viva. It's na first time ko makakatrabaho si Ricky Lee as a writer. So that I'm excited for that. I-plug ko na rin yung IG ko, di ba? Pero fair warning, puro abs ang makikita nyo doon. Kapal ng mukha. Okay. P. Villaluna sa IG.
Okay, matic follow na po yata yan sa karamihan. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Direk Paolo. How about you, Direk Rod po?
Yes. Meron akong na-shoot last year. So supposedly kasi yon na-produce for digital. Pero syempre bilang mga taga-pelikula, syempre ang plano natin dapat ready for cine. So apparently ngayon they're waiting for cinemas pero not soon kasi parang titimplahin pa daw kung carry siya. Pero it's actually mas na-excite ako for cinema because it's a trans romance film na period o social period. Pero hindi kaya ng budget. But like so far happy ako doon kasi never kong na-imagine that may gagawa ng trans film na romance na medyo syempre ang approach namin yung pang general audience na medyo malaki yung budget sa the average na makukuha mo pag nag-pitch ka lang ng something trans. Alam mo yun, kaya pa yung BL, medyo may hilt mo pa yan. Pero pag pumunta ka ng konti sa trans, mahirap talaga. So very grateful ako for that. And we're still waiting for the release supposedly sana next year. We plan to submit sa MMFF dapat ay parang yung last year performance ata ay hindi ko alam, parang hindi siya good financially, sabi. Hindi ko sure. So yun yung threat sa buong industriya right now. Paano natin pwedeng mabalik yung mga tinaya nila sa atin, no? Tapos, yes, drag din with Manila Luzon. Malapit na, promise. And please subscribe sa WeTV kasi dun kami papalabas. And also, meron akong air release doon din na sex comedy na series, also filming soon, but also airing soon, nakakaloka. But, ayun, And then, yeah, meron din from Viva. So far ngayon, puro streaming. At katulad ni Carlo, nabarangan din ako ng, supposedly ngayong October, dapat nasa Quezon din ako. So, nabarang ulit. So, tignan natin. Uso po ang barangan at namumuhunan na ako sa mga insenso talaga para hindi na ma-move ang mga shoot because no shoot, no pay. Charing. No shoot, no pay. So, pagka nakakita po kayong mga ganitong projects na press release, hanggat hindi pa na-shoot, wala pa pong bayad. So, ayun. Tapos, follow nyo rin ako sa Instagram, sa Twitter. I am Roda Frog. Kasi gusto ko rin ng mga free goods tulad ni Dwein, di ba? Para, ay, wala kang work it, wala kang racket. Mabubuhay ka sa mga libretas na anes.
Yeah.
Freebie na yan. So, ayun. Salamat.
Ayan, thank you, Direk. Baka may mga gusto mag-sponsor ng insenso or tawas dyan, no?
Oo,
For
Laika
our
dyan
director.
din pala. Binubuhay ako ng Laika. Salamat, Laika.
Hayop yung Laika din.
Nasa Laika din po ako, mga
Yes.
kaibigan.
Nasa Laika po ako, please. Kaka-order ko lang using Laika.
Nasa OnlyFans din pala ako.
Ito ba pa? O pasend naman.
Alright, well,
Na TV Laika Jens. Maraming salamat, Laika.
alright, shout out to Laika. No? Thank you po, Direk Rod, for that. And for Direk Pam po.
Ayun. Meron akong sinulat for Viva Max actually. Sana bayaran na nila ako. I think they will be shooting either end of the year or early next year. So, siya, erotic, pero coming of age love.
Wow.
Plus, meron din akong, teleserye. It's a miniseries sa GMA. E-ere na siya. Free TV. October 23 tonight, diba? So, it's airing now. Sa hapon. Title niya, second installment ng Stories from the Heart. Never Say Goodbye. Yung title. That's actually, natuwa ako dito sa story na to. Because, siya, wala siyang drama siya, pero wala siyang kidnapan, walang warehouse and action scene sa dulo. And it's about impending death and love and hope pa rin. So, ayun, Never Say Goodbye on 87. And magla-lock in ako actually for another series na I think pampasko. Ihahabol namin yung airing for Christmas. Also under Stories from the Heart sa GMA 7. And may mga sinusulat din ako pero hindi ko pa wala pang down payment so hindi pa siya totoo. So ayun. Tapos nagsusulat po ako, guys, kung kailangan niyo po ng writer, I'm here. Parang to write for other directors. I mean, that's something that parang I would like to do then. So, yeah.
Ayun.
Yun
Thanks,
lang.
Direk Pam. Alright. So, shout out lang, bayad-bayad din. Alright, thank you. And last but not least, can we have Direk Miguel po for promotions?
Actually, yun nga, I think a lot of filmmakers nilapitan ng Viva Max kasi sila ngayon yung parang sobrang lakas sa content ngayon. So yeah, meron na akong one with them na horror na in development na, and one na matagal lang din na-develop even before the pandemic, tapos napapause lang. Actually, dine-develop yung Eerie prequel. Tapos yung cousin ko, si Red, is writing that. And then, meron kaming series for HBO, Half Worlds. Actually, season 3 na yun. Yung season 1 and 2, Indonesia and Thailand. So, para siyang dark fantasy thriller, mga engkanto na may war ongoing sa urban underworld ng Manila. So, baka next year pa yun sa HBO. And then, we finished a film na ngayon nasa Tokyo Film Festival. So I hope kung may mga Filipinas doon, please support may mga physical screenings doon. Unfortunately, baka di kami makapunta because of COVID restrictions. So sana promote nyo doon. There will be more festivals, pero sayang rin hindi umabot ng November tong event. We have an announcement rin kung saan siya magiging available for local audience. So abangan nyo na lang sa November yung announcement for Arisaka. So yun naman mas parang survival thriller na medyo may action elements, starring si Baha Salvador. So exciting rin yun. And yun, and I hope yun nga, every time may local content sa mga streaming, sana i-support nyo. Ang dami niyang Filipino content rin online, Netflix and other streaming sites. Please support. Kahit minsan may mga events or local film festivals online, huwag nyo i-pirate. Yun yung problem, no? Pag minsan pay-per-view, kasi day one pa lang ng upload, may mga copy na sa mga Discord and kinakalat na. So yun nga, we were struggling nung may cinemas pa, imagine ngayon. So sana i-support nyo. Yung mga, even though mga big companies yan like Netflix, may mga free trial naman yan. Pag nag-apply ka for free trial, 3 months, di ba? So kung gusto niya talaga mapanood pero walang budget, there's a way naman to do it na legally pa rin. Pero please, yun, support nyo lahat ng local content na lumalabas sa mga streaming. And finally, pag napalabas na yung mga films namin pagbalik ng cinemas, I know, syempre, safety first na mas important, yung health natin. Pero hopefully pag nag-normalize na, sana bumalik na rin yung movie-going culture natin and support our films being shown sa cinemas. So yun lang. And follow nyo na rin ako sa Instagram. Actually, doon rin kami nagpo-post ng mga call for interns, ng casting. So may mga rin naman doon. Important information na yung pinapa-post namin, hindi lang parang personal account. Minsan nagpo-post rin kami mga ads for looking for parang film crew and mga opportunities doon. So please check that out. Yan lang.
All right. Thank you so much, Direk Mikhail. Yes, let's all support and legally stream for our local cinema rin to be alive. And yun nga, hopefully we can all come back na to the cinema as soon as possible. Maybe in 2024. Looking forward. All right. So thank you everyone, of course, for for all of your insights and for everything that you have shared with us today. We are having so much fun in this very extraordinary night full of priceless and amazing advices from all of you. Unfortunately, of course, we have come to an end. Cheers to our directors who took the time to be with us tonight, and to everyone who watched and stayed until the very last minute of our event. To Sinepanghalina followers and to our official partners, we have Bolso Cinephilia, we have Gulaman Entertainment, and we have Eugenio Lopez Jr. Center for Media Arts Senior High School. And of course, this event was also brought to you by Focus Bat State U Camera Club, Silip Atlente Adu. We have UP Cinema Art Society, UP Cast, and Loyola Film Circle. We'd also like to thank our official media partners, Edge TV Philippines, Cinema 76 Cafe, Active Vista, and Pelikulang. We would like to give our utmost gratitude for making this event all possible before we all bid our goodbyes. I would like to remind you guys again that if you want one of these Pelikulang shirts, they are now available for pre-order alongside Sinepanghalina's Pelikulism notepads and stickers. You can find our order form in the post caption of this live. So check it out as soon as you can. All right. And for a surprise, as we promised, 5 lucky viewers tonight will win Cinema 76 Cafe loot bags that contain PBA Studios merchandise and so much more. The list of winners will be announced on our page in the following days. So stay tuned. All right. For your thoughts, reactions, and insight for tonight's event, again, don't forget to use our hashtag DTTP2. Again, I am Ron Rayton, your host for tonight. And I also have a podcast, Cinephiles. That's CINFILES. Maybe in the future, I could have all of you, of course, to be guests there and share also your filmmaking visions with us. I really would love that. Thank you. And thank you again for your time. And that would be it. Good night.